The hosts of the Swine Brothers Show are not role models. They're not even human. They're complete monsters. The Swine Brothers Show is dumb, crude, thoughtless, ugly, sexist, self-destructive, foolish, and a crime against humanity. Some of the things they do would cause a person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, possibly deported. The fact they blatantly ripped this off from another source should be an indicator of their shameless depravity. This extreme in bad taste will offend anyone with a working brain, so listener discretion is advised. If you're still here, welcome to the sewer of the internet.
I fucking found them, and if you bastards take them away again, I'm gonna force feed you bits of your family!
That's right, folks. We're back. We're back. Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 209. It has been quite a while.
Yes.
You
Lots of
can
things have happened.
contact us at Cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Twitter is SwineBro666, and I'm back on Facebook. Interestingly, they actually let me back on. So, unlike the past, the Facebook page will actually be updated once in a while. And by updated, I mean I'll post music. Anyway, Facebook is also Swine Brothers. That is our new co-host, an insane man I found wandering around the park. I'm your usual host, Elliott Lindemoot.
I am the Jim, and I am pleased to note that I have found my kids, finally, 17 years. Fuck the government, burn it to the ground.
Yes, but also if you could talk a little closer to the mic, that would be awesome.
I thought I was.
Oh, there you are. That sounds better.
I'm Jim's taco slut.
Okay.
All right, taco slut.
That's... Okay. So, what have we been doing since we've been off? Well, I've been buying a lot of CDs. And enjoying the amazing year. Last year was one of the best years for metal I can think of.
Yes, it was some good shit you were posting there. I finally found my kids. They called me up on fucking Christmas, and I was like, oh, God, this is awesome. So now I have all the catching up to do. I got to teach them the essentials. Like, this is G.G. Allen. Rotten.com used to have this kind of, fucking dismemberment on it.
And not gonna lie, Jim, you have some awesome kids. Like, just, from having, rough beginnings, they turned out just incredible. Not entitled shits like a lot of these kids around are now. They're just fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also glad they're willing to listen to the old man's ramblings. Now I'm sure that they're rolling their eyes like, Dad, why'd you have to make another goat sodomy joke?
But I hope that means you're not still filled with fire and hatred. Because that's what this show's kind of built on. Without it, we'd kind of be nothing.
I'm fueled with fucking death rays from above, cast from my sphincter, going down 10 million miles onto the earth at lightning speed, destroying all. Because I fucking want to destroy the government for stealing 17 years from me.
I want to destroy people who say stupid things and then when called out they play the victim because, oh my God, you're evil and ableist or something, even though I'm blind. The blind ableist.
Yes, the blind kid is so ableist. Wow.
Yes. So, for those of you who aren't on Twitter, and I don't know why I'm still on Twitter, it's cesspool and horrible.
It is.
But for those of you who are in the metal scene and are on Twitter, you might have seen some post by some, I guess it's a girl. I don't know. They call themselves a romantic Romeo. So but they say she slash her. So I don't know. I guess it's a girl. Anyway, they posted something. Metal bands. When are you guys going to come up with names not misogynistic and offensive like dying fetus? You're turning normal people off, right? From exploring your values. Punk bands learned this. First off, you're going to single out a band that's been around for 30 years and is mega successful. I mean, Dying Fetus, everyone knows who Dying Fetus is.
Yeah,
Second,
you never heard them. You heard the name.
second, we don't want normies to. I mean, that's kind of part of the whole thing with metal for me is like names are important. Like I remember when I heard the name Dying Fetus, and my dad reacted with disgust. I was like, cool, I got to check this band out. Same with like Cannibal Corpse. Like when I first heard Cannibal Corpse, the name, like I'd heard Slayer, cool name, obviously my favorite band, but Slayer, cool name. Iron Maiden, I don't know what the hell that is, but it sounds like some girl band, Maiden. But the Cannibal Corpse was like, Cannibal Corpse, I got to check this one out.
Yes, what's
I mean,
wrong with eating people? It's everyone's favorite pastime.
granted, it's just a fancy way of saying zombie, but still. But really, if you can't get beyond the names, then we don't want you in our scene. Sorry. So
It's not like, I know people want to make money and all, but at the same time, whenever you're making this music, you want to attract the right people, and the wrong people are normal, because normal people are too damn stupid. They're the ones that'll fucking say, oh yeah, they're singing about this shooting up a place. Maybe I should shoot up a place. That's what normal people do. Metalheads are like, yeah, that'd be nice and all, but I don't want the prison time.
Yeah, you're not trying to attract John Q normal. You're trying to attract other metalheads and other people who are interested in the genre. You're not necessarily trying to branch out. And then we also have a branch in metal for people who want to branch out and like experiment. There's so many different ones. There's like reggae metal and fucking pop metal and all this other shit that you can explore. Then you don't have to like rag on Dying Fetus for.
But also, I mean, okay, you find a band with a less offensive name. Oh, but the music. Why do they have to gurgle and growl like that? Can't they just like sing? It's like
So you don't want them to be metal anymore. You just want your typical pop musician or fucking country music star.
But also the other thing is a lot of people just. I mean, we don't care about. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to make some money, but war metal bands like Genocidal Rights, they don't care. They're not going to make any money anyway. So why not call the band Genocidal Rights or Anal Cunt or something?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a really tame name for a band, naming it after the lead singer, like G.G. Allen. Hey, that's those punks they were talking about,
what about
right?
punks like Death and Bad Brains and fucking Dayglow Abortions?
I love the Dayglow Abortions, but like that name still cracks me up. And I now know how the name came about, and it was basically they used Dayglow paint to spray paint stuff, and they were like, cool, we're gonna call ourselves the Dayglow, whatever the first word we see, and the first word was in a newspaper, it had to do with something about abortion. So like, cool, we're the Dayglow Abortions.
Nice.
That's a great origin story. I mean, whenever we were trying to like get a band going years ago, we called ourselves Mottler, and the reason this is after a few name changes, after we kept finding sarcastic bands that had the same name as we were looking for. We went with Mottler because we were looking at the Mother Butler ice cream sign. My one buddy was looking at the Mother Butler ice cream sign at fucking Denny's, and he was tripping his balls off, and the word blended together because like the screen melted. And he's like, "Oh, Mottler, there's a band name."
Mottler.
I still like the Guar story. Guy just shouted Guar, and they're like, hey, that's a funny band name. It's they already had the Death Piggy thing, but the real point is when people started calling her out, including Dying Fetus themselves, which had a great sarcastic tweet about, man, where were you in 1991? You could have stopped us. She then started to play the victim, like, oh, I had no idea that now they're sending their followers to attack me.
Yay, we're all brainwashed followers attacking instead of pointing and laughing at your idiocy.
Yes.
Back in the day, there was a band called Neckbeard Death Camp, a very, very terrible, terrible, terrible band. They were black metal mixed with noise done terribly, and their lyrics were like, their band name is called Neckbeard Death Camp. So terrible. I used to make fun of them quite a bit, and they used to not tagging them, but making fun of them. And they used to find the tweets. I don't know. Maybe they Googled themselves all the time, and they used to respond to them. And when people started shooting back or whatever, I didn't play the victim. I mocked even harder. Like, wow, you're going after me, this
the
little
lowest
nobody.
guy. Yeah, nobody that nobody knows.
Yeah,
I'm
Psycho Stick made fun of Trapped because that song Headstrong, the one that goes do 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 do.
ew.
Yeah,
No.
well, they made a song called do 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 do.
Now you see, it's
Yes.
that common guar shtick that they bring Marilyn Manson out on stage and flay his flesh alive.
You're not
And
monsters.
so they kill fucking Marilyn Manson all the time, and I heard that called gatekeeping. Okay, so the much larger, far more successful band is being gate kept out, even though they're still larger and more successful.
I
How's
actually
that
didn't know who.
gatekeeping again?
I actually didn't know who Trapped was. Like, I knew the name, but I didn't realize they were the guys who did Headstrong until the singer lost his mind on social media and started posting all this stuff. And then I finally realized that, oh yeah, they're the guys who did Headstrong. I hate that song. but
That song's fucking garbage.
I
Yeah.
mean, the point is, if you're going to be deliberately confrontational, why are you surprised when people start firing back? Why are you surprised when the band fires back? I mean, I was making fun of Jamie Jasta from Hatebreed because he's very easy to make fun of. Because he was posting about, people are mad about like Year Endless and like, they're not having a Burzum clone, on the Year End list, and they're having stuff that people actually listen to. So I was making fun of, Hatebreed, and he fired back, and my response was, wow, that's funny that this like big rock star metalhead guy is trading barbs on Twitter with nobodies like me. You must have no life. But no, she just decided, and now she's threatening to report me because I mock, and it's like, okay, again, you said something deliberately, you knew it was going to be bait, and now you're crying we will take the bait because they're too mean. Well, if you don't want people to be mean, it's the internet. If you don't want people to be mean, don't talk.
Especially the metalheads. We mock everything. We mock our favorite bands.
I
Let
mock,
alone the
yes.
ones we hate. We will mock our favorite bands.
I love Megadeth. I mocked later Megadeth because, oh my god.
And fucking shit, man. And you get into, like, fucking, you see their, This Is Guar, the documentary. It's like they even go through, like, art sucks. It's like, but wait a minute, aren't you, like, art school flunkies? Yes. And so we know art sucks.
Yeah, they know. It's funny because by the way, that movie is a must-watch for everyone into Guar or music or into whatever. That is a must-watch movie.
Yes.
A documentary. I always found art school kind of an oxymoron, because like I always thought art was something you were born with and like you developed yourself. So like,
I mean, okay, you got to learn how to refine your drawing a little bit. But that's
yes.
practice, and the school gives you time to practice. And I know plenty of people have used it as a means to get the practice in so they could build up their portfolio and try to sell some shit. And half the time they drop out anyway because once they start making money, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, but there's a lot of art school that's like, okay, now you're going to learn how to draw like this. It's like, well, wait, now you're telling us what to draw. You're telling us what
that's
to do.
a huge part of art school too. Is like because you got to do it for the commercial ends because that's where the real money is. If you draw it just like these other people do, fuck your own original style. You
Well, that's what
Guar
was talking about.
Popular, and I'm certain today they're probably telling you how to draw like internet memes.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, someone posted, they worked hard for 6 years on a project and got nothing. They drew a a minion and got 1,000 likes on Instagram. They're like, wow, this sucks.
Yep.
So, and well, that's what Guar's talking about.
The mass public wants easily digestible stuff. Those of us that are willing to scratch the surface and dig down and get to the underground, we'll find some real crazy shit there. Stuff that's actually worth entertaining the ideas of. And some shit that's just there to laugh at.
Well, of course. I mean, again, not everything in the underground is going to be good, of course. In fact, I think that's as annoying as hipsters are. I think that's where they miss the mark. They worship the underground for its own sake, when the underground should not be worshipped for its own sake. It should be thought of highly because of the stuff that's there. But there's a lot of shit in the underground. I mean, you just look on Metal Bandcamp at the 25,000 bedroom black metal demos.
What
You
do you
know that
think? What do you
they're the
think?
underground. What's that?
What do you think of the debate between AI art versus actual painting and digital art?
Now Jim's had fun with Midjourney, and I'll give him that. But I will say that I will use an actual an artist on my thing.
You see,
First,
I would
first
rather
off,
I would rather take some of my creations, whatever the thing was actually good at making melting braid shit, before they made it standardized into more corporatist garbage and censorized legalese shit. I mean, I want to get an actual artist to draw some of that shit I made with their, using that as inspiration, not as like, doing the same exact thing that happened there.
First off, all the stuff that Midjourney's doing is taking from copyrighted images, and there's a whole minefield there. But I do think, and of course, I mean, I do like, I have some artistic, and graphics friends, and I like telling them how little I care about the product because I'm blind and ha ha ha. But I do think I do think you should have an actual artist. I mean, again, I can't see, but I know a lot of people who, wow, this has a John Zig cover art. That's cool. He's a really cool artist, or a Puss Head artwork or something like that. They're so I get it, and
I had
I
people
know.
coming up to me saying, like, how'd you get this thing to be so cool? Well, I put sewage fetus as one of the commands. Or fetus sewage, one variation or the other. And
I
they're
know
like,
that.
but now the command is banned. So you're banned from making anything cool like I did.
Yeah, they do that, but so the other thing is, and there's albums with AI art, like I believe the new More to Skull album has AI art. It just feels kind of lazy to me. Like, oh yeah, we could have someone come up with something, or we could just here a machine, skeleton, battle, sword, they're done. I don't know. It feels lazy, but I also would like to just do like a blank album cover and just like no information, just like the blind man's revenge, basically. I just have this idea that I'm going to release an album on New Year's Eve just to fuck with all the year-end lists.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, there's one more band left I didn't do.
Oh no, it's really great. What are we going to do? Is it going to be... Oh, we already posted the year-end list. Oh, well. Man, last year had some great albums. By old bands and new bands, Suffocation, Autopsy, Cannibal Corpse, but also Helm's Deep and Colony Drop, two albums you really, really, really need.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse Fox.
One is heavy metal, the other is thrash metal, and both are very, very much needed. But yeah, AI is interesting, but I don't really want any part of it. I've lived my life AI free all these years, and I don't really see any benefits to it.
You have an AI screen reader. It has to use some form of artificial
No,
intelligence.
that's not. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's all programmed. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's actually fairly basic. AI screen reader would be if it could do images, and it can't.
Hooray,
So
it can't do
no, it
images.
can't do images. Which I rely on
So
image
you'll never
description.
see the chick standing on top of a battleship in the middle of space as a war is going on around her, and all she's doing is singing a love song.
I mean, I see that all the time.
It's pure love as people are dying and blowing up in explosions and their guts
I mean,
are flying throughout space.
but Jim, I see that all the time. What you don't see that all the time? Oh,
Yes.
I must be the weird one.
Yes, you are the weird one.
But yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I wish I would use AI for is better image descriptions. because Google has an image description thing and Facebook, but it's maybe an image of text, maybe an image. I still love Facebook describing the Carcass Rika Putrefaction album cover as appears to contain food.
Appears to contain food when it's rotting.
You've seen it's autopsy photos. You've seen it. If apparently, what I gather from that is Facebook wants to eat humans.
Facebook wants to eat humans. Film at 11.
appears to contain food.
See, that would actually make Facebook a lot. So that makes Facebook sound a lot cooler than it actually is.
Yeah.
I want to eat people eating people.
It does. That being said, it's cool to be in touch with all my old friends again and talk about metal again. You know, Jeannie from You Go to Her Gods and shit like that. It's great to talk. Of course, other friends of ours have fallen down the conspiracy rabbit hole, and that's depressing. But whatever.
Oh yeah, God, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
I actually saw one. Oh God, it had me rolling. The conspiracy was that big corporations are paying atheists to spread atheism. Like not just like, you know, select people. No, we're talking all atheists.
I'm kind of pissed actually.
I
was an
atheist in like 3 seconds flat if you could give me $20 billion.
Yeah, but Jim, I was an atheist and I never got any of that propaganda money. What the fuck, man? Was I just not doing it right? I mean,
you became a Satanist, so it's obvious you weren't doing it right.
I wasn't atheisting correctly to get that evil money. Well, I also got I've that conspiracy is not new. In 2015, when I was part of the atheist community, I read a thing that corporations are paying Christians to spread Christ in every other places. Now, there is actually not that but there's truth to the fact that corporations will apparently pay you to do online debates. I read an interesting article about someone who was paid by, I think they were paid to make pro-Israel arguments. And I don't have a dog in that fight, Israel and Palestine. Personally, I think both sides should smoke a pot and smoke a couple joints and get over themselves. And
I mean, you got the Israelis. Sorry, mix up my terms here because I've fucking been on the fucking Bronze Age internet too much. You got the Israelis who, are trying to defend themselves, but they also provoke some of that shit because their government's a bunch of fuckwads, and you got a bunch of Richie Riches trying to just encroach on everything. So they do provoke some of the shit, but there are also times where they provoke nothing and they just get attacked.
See, I don't know. I'm simplistic, but I think that basically just smoke a joint and get over yourself, people. Then we can actually have some like non-war in this world. Of course, we'll never get world peace because world peace can't exist.
World peace will never happen because we're gonna have. The moment you get two people in a room, you're going to differ on something, you're going to get into an argument, and sometimes those arguments become fatal.
World peace can't be done. It just can't exist. Sorry. Yes.
No matter how much you try to force people to toe the line and be like all pre-programmed to be this specific way, there's going to be minor deviances in it. They're just going to throw out. I mean, just think of Lutheranism, okay? How that came about. It's like Catholicism light. That's all it is. It's Catholicism, just now we allow like these tenets that we posted.
But I don't eat meat, or I don't listen to this music or whatever. So it'll be all sorts of, you'll always have strife and conflict and ideological conflict.
And you gotta remember that the Lutherans were fucking bashed, hated, and hunted down, just because they differed on a couple key points.
There's a great Kurt Vonnegut quote when he was talking to someone about a book he's writing. And the guy says, is it an anti-war book? And Vonnegut says, yeah, I guess so. He goes, you know what I say when someone says they're writing an anti-war book? And they said, no, what do you say? I say, why not write an anti-glacier book instead? And then the point he was making that wars are as easy to stop as glaciers. And of course, even if there wasn't war, there'd still be death. I mean, so...
A lot of our big wars were this huge interconnected systems that came together and just said, hey, it's time to kill each other because we're fucked. And another side said, hey, why are you killing us? Because we're not as fucked.
It's pretty sad that people older than me are calling me childish for saying that utopian fantasies are just that. I was like, wait a minute. I thought childishness was utopianism.
Yeah, childishness
because
is utopianism.
yeah, when I was 15, 16, I thought that, like, man, I could change the world if only we, get rid of the government and everyone will just work and be happy.
You know, it
Now
was
I'm
really
going,
good, the Cold War.
the Cold War was good.
Because that was a nice, peaceful time, even though we were ready to kill each other, and we had a bunch of proxy wars. It sucked for the countries. We had the proxy wars.
Are you sure that wasn't sparkling aggression? Or was that an actual war?
No, it wasn't war. We were still killing each other. We were just doing it covertly. No one was seeing it, and we were able to get on our happy lives, even though we were afraid the nukes were going to drop any second.
I haven't seen it till recently, but we're going to move into another house, and we were looking at houses, and apparently one of the houses around here had an actual bomb shelter. Now there are questions. Now it's a very, very badly designed bomb shelter, and the door, I don't really know how the door works. It looks like one of them's going to be left behind, but I just thought it was funny, like a bomb shelter. I was like, sweet, I'd convert that into a studio.
Yeah, and then put some, like, dangling, flesh off of meat hooks,
It's a bunker.
Put out our fucking guar skills, getting the latex going to have all the carcasses hanging from the ceiling.
I still love when Heaven's Gate happened and Brocky had the idea to turn Slave Pit into their own anti-government compound.
That just sounds like a drug-fueled idea if I ever heard one.
Yeah, that sounds like a Brocky idea, too. I like the Terminator one where he just, for like a couple months, he would respond to Dave. There is no Dave. I am the Terminator.
No, I went like that for about a year. I talked like the Terminator. I just didn't call myself the Terminator. What is the patty melt?
But, yeah, Dave was, Brocky was definitely interesting. Nuts. But yeah, so... Yeah, the Cold War is interesting. Yeah, there was a lot of covert behind the scenes. We propped up a lot of horrible countries because they were anti-communist, such as Haiti. There's a great simple history video about the dictator of Haiti.
You're against commies? We're for you, even though you're genocidal maniacs.
Oh yeah, there's great simple history videos about everything. Subscribe to Simple History, kids. You'll learn something.
Yeah, it's that whole entire domino theory. If one comes in, it's all gonna turn. No, we don't want that. Well, we actually don't, because that gives the government way too much power. But in order to combat it, we are also tending to give our government too much power. You never want to give the government power.
Yay. Because then bad things will happen.
Bad things always happen.
Yes, like Jim existing.
Everyone existing. For 35 seconds longer than they deserve to.
35 seconds. That's an oddly specific time.
Yes, because if you exist for 35 seconds, it pisses me off. Especially if you're driving like a moron.
Yes, I've heard that. Yes, yes. Yes, you got it, yeah. People drive like morons. That's the funny thing. People are, because I'm a huge race fan, and people are, well, aren't you? People always ask race drivers, aren't you scared to be in a race car with around other people driving as fast? And they're like, no, these guys have gone through training and years of experience. All you know, all you know if you're on the road is that the person can operate a gas pedal.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on the regular road,
You're
not going to get someone playing racing. You're not going to have someone on a racetrack that plays it like a video game like I do, where I just say, okay, I'm going to win this because my car's invincible, and I'm just going to start driving the wrong way down the track to take everyone else out, because if my car is the only one left on the highway, on the racetrack, I'm the one who wins by default, because no one else exists.
I drive like that.
This
And
is
if you
why
do-
I'm terrified of teaching you how to drive, hon.
And if you do try to drive like that, you get suspended or disqualified.
Not just this call. I think there'd be like major criminal charges. Like, why the fuck were you driving the wrong way down the fucking racetrack, ramming into people?
Well, yeah. Well, I thought it was a demolition derby. No, this is an Indy car race, you idiot. Oops. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that they'll pull your license away, for less. On the
Yeah.
road, it's like, oh, you get like 2 points.
Yeah, you got 2 points because you passed a cop car that had its sirens on because it was chasing someone else. No,
Yes.
you're the target.
I was just
Police
running
chases.
interference,
I was just running interference.
That's all.
Just running interference, yeah. I was helping.
That's what they used to do back in the old moonshine days, where they have like the cars, the bootleggers, and the cops would give chase. Sometimes they would have their friends run interference for the cop cars, or they'd report some crime way out in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, some guy got shot. So then the cops would be all tied up and they could make the run from Dawsonville to Atlanta.
Yes.
Police chases are interesting. I actually saw last year. I actually saw the world's lamest police chase. It was a guy. It was a guy chasing what's called a KLR 650, which is like an enduro bike. Goes like 50 miles an hour, and the guy's like just chasing him. It was a low speed chase, and the news was covering it. And I was like, wow, this has to be the slowest news day I've ever seen. It wasn't like a high speed chase. It was, this guy had kind of run from the cops, and so but it wasn't like a Lamborghini. It was like just this big motorcycle.
What would be hilarious is if they were like driving a lawn tractor, top speed 15 miles an hour, and you had like 16 cop cars chasing with the sirens on, and helicopters hovering overhead.
like the South Park video, like the South Park thing when Carmen was going to jail, and he takes Kenny's Power Wheels Bronco. Obviously, it's a play on the O.J. Simpson thing, but they have all these cop cars slowly chasing this little Power Wheels Bronco, and then it runs out of battery, and they just arrest him.
Exactly. That's the worst thing that'll happen. You run out of batteries.
Well, Jim, steal lawn tractor.
Yes, I'm going to carjack myself a lawn tractor.
Let's get some music playing.
Let's do just that.
Yes.
hiss. The nightmare, the only fucking thing that you're black. The soul that she does possess. Right now the sight that it is will to flash. Her room eternally waits. Her shadow controlling. What the hell you do? Touching through hell by her face. Black magic terror. Black magic terror.
All right, that first one was Jessica with Another World.
Yes, it's a cheesy name, but the singer's named Jessica, so I think they can get away with it. That is off the Another World album from 2018. I thought we were going to get a new Jessica album soon. I've seen some tracks posted, but she has amazing range.
I think it's all right.
that is, I love,
I'm sorry.
I love
What
trad
was that?
metal.
I hated that. I'm sorry. I hated it so bad.
Well, that's your problem, not
That's
mine.
just my opinion.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Everyone's taste in music sucks.
I'm not the
we know.
biggest fan of power metal though, so I can't really.
that's not power metal. That's trad metal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next was Stalker with Black Magic Terror.
That's speed metal from New Zealand. Really, really great band. Of course, the little umlaut in there because you can't be a speed metal band without an umlaut. That's not my that's I think that's a rule there.
Yeah. We always gotta put the weird letters in. Fucking
Of
fucks
course.
me off playing Crusader Kings 3 because I don't know where that shit is on my keyboard when I look it up.
But yeah, I sometimes you need a break from death and black and thrash. Sometimes you just need some good old trad and speed metal, fucking guitar riffs, vocal acrobatics, solos.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be I always find it funny that people metal metal died. When did metal die? When?
Metal needs to die so it could go back underground. These fucking normies can quit invading. Sadly, with the internet here, it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
But,
Well, so
it's a hope.
that's the interesting thing about the internet is I think with the internet culture being what it is, it'll never die.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always have some. We're gonna mix, Japanese idol with metal and reggae, and we're gonna call it metal, and people are gonna love it.
Yeah, and I'll get service people start coming into our territory like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm.
If I'll say this: if Sleep Token's metal, then metal is dead. Sleep Token is a terrible, terrible band.
That sounds like it, yes.
Yeah, and they've gotten worse, and now they're gigantic in the metal world. The mainstream. Mainstream.
Apparently my taco slut has decided to attack us. We have to play the victim now because she didn't like that one song.
I know it's just terrible. I need to spread lies
about
you all over X and.
Yeah, that's what she's doing right now, spreading those lies. We're being attacked by her fans. Oh my god.
I know.
Cool. I hope they're good lies.
All because you disagreed with me. How dare you?
I hope you're saying I'm eating babies, because I've been the satanic baby eater of Jeanette since I was like 16.
I mean, I've only called you a poser like 50 times since I met you, so you already know.
Yeah. Everyone's a fucking poser. We know it.
And Jim, I've called you a poser like 5,000 times since I've known you.
Yeah.
You're both are posers.
And you're a fucking poser, because you don't understand. You just don't get a single damn thing.
I understand, man. No, you don't understand. You don't get it, man. That's a Guar reference right there. That's a very obscure Guar reference.
Yeah, I gotta find me a copy of fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail and show it to my boy. Girls and my daughter's out in Colorado right now. That's a few states away, so I gotta wait till I save up enough money to get out there. But my boy's fairly local. As soon as I get my paycheck, I'm gonna go out and see him. And they've never seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. They have to see it if they're my kids.
Oh yeah, they have to see it. That's
By the way, everyone.
required viewing.
By the way, everyone, I'd just like to say it took Jim over a year to watch the Guar movie from when I saw it. I'm just going to point that out there. Do-do-do-do-do.
Yep, there's some other things I haven't done yet because life. But seriously, this is shit they would have grown up with if they had been with me. They would have seen it at least no less than 100 times.
I've seen it I've seen it twice. It's good, but it's not as great as other people say it is.
You can't see, so it's only going to be good because
Now,
you like some of the humor.
Now, the one is that everyone was just getting me to read was the Hitchhiker's Guide series.
Oh yeah, that's fucking classic. They would have had
because so my dad liked it, my friends from school liked it, but every time they would, it's emphysema alley.
Sorry.
But every time somebody would tell me about it, it would just sound like a random thing. Like, oh yeah, then all the dolphins disappeared. Oh yeah, then the robot. If you describe it to someone, it just sounds like a random events plot. Finally, Jim was like, no, just read it. Just don't forget all the description. Just read it. So I downloaded the books and blah, blah, fine, I'll read it. All of a sudden, I was on book 4. It was like, wait, this is almost over? Aww.
Yeah, I know.
It
was just that good, because everything does have its own logical consistency. And if you're only talking a highlight reel, you're not getting all the little nuance that's going on in the background that actually makes one thing lead to the other.
Yeah.
There are some random points here because you have the infinite improbability drive fucking things up, but other than
Adams
that,
was a master at his craft. He really.
But
was.
he was very good at making the brain I could write a random story. One day I was riding on a dragon made out of ice cream, and then I kicked a soccer ball that was actually a goat head. There. But he was good about making the random stuff actually funny. Like you didn't expect it coming, but at the same time, it didn't just feel like he was pulling stuff out of his ass.
He made the ordinary seem extraordinary. Like this, the way he.
Yeah.
He described the way a mattress looks upright and what it was doing while it was upright.
And then you also have the secret to flying is forgetting how to fall.
It's kind of funny that, I love that Musk is so obsessed with the Hitchhiker's Guide series and then gets everything wrong.
I know.
Because he'll quote something and then do the exact opposite. But, yeah, I still read the Hitchhiker's Guide every once in a while because it's like he really understood what he was joking about, and he understood the absurdity of life. And even though he was never a big fan of, the term science fiction, he understood how to, lampoon science fiction. It was great.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that he never got to complete the 6th book before he died. That someone else did, and it wasn't very good.
But you get that. You get that.
I have the complete series on hardback. It's a good one.
You haven't read A Hitchhiker's Guide until you've heard it read by Douglas Adams himself. That's a treat, man. That is a treat.
Now you're gonna have to check that audiobook out. Yes.
It's the same with Rob Halford's book. It's a great book, and I've read it, with my screen reader, but it is not the same without Halford reading it. Same with Bruce Dickinson's book. You need Bruce Dickinson reading it to you. Yeah, the Halford book. It's 12 hours of that sweet, sweet voice.
Yes.
Telling you all about his life and stuff, and about random gay exploits and truck stop bathrooms.
Stop bathrooms. Those are the places.
But hey, he said it was going to be candid.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect anything else from priest.
That's what he's because in the 80s, he had to hide his sexuality, unfortunately, and so he
I
couldn't
know as the
necessarily.
'90s rolled on, half the people that were making the Rob Halford is gay jokes were just like, "Come on, come out of the closet already. We
Well,
know."
I'll get to that in a minute. It really is him emphysema alley here. I'm
Jeez.
like,
Oh
I'm
my
the only
god.
I'm the only one without a death rattle.
You're the only one without a. Oh, I don't have a death rattle. That's all her.
I've heard you it just before we interviewed Dale Patterson, Jim had the death cough, and I was kind of worried that Jim
Oh,
was going to
me.
die mid-interview.
Hooray! I'm gonna die mid-interview. That'd be great entertainment.
I was
I
doing something very beneficial.
Jim's like, I have a question. But anyway, so the Halford thing. So yeah, that's what he used to do in the '80s. Sadly, he basically would go to truck stop bathrooms and wait for the someone to because he couldn't go out like to like an after party but yeah, it's funny because when he finally came out and the priest said they already knew, Halford was like, man, I thought I hit it better. I was like, uh, Rob, I kind of knew when I read the lyrics to Jawbreaker, Need Me Alive.
Yeah. That's where the fans pretty much were. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least in
I
the
mean,
'90s. I can't speak before that.
I
It's like,
think in
come
the
on, come out of the closet already. We know.
I think in the '80s the hardcores. I mean, obviously the mainstream metal fans didn't know, but I think the hardcores figured. I mean,
Yeah, you
look at
got some legitimately mocking him, and others are just like, oh, come
He
on,
was
dude.
pretty leather boy for a while there.
oh, I mean, I mean, I do think he had to get away from the whole mainstream. I think he had to get away from Priest to kind of be okay with coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen pics of him in the '90s? Man, he fell down the '90s trend thing hard. He's like all tattooed and stuff.
With the feathered
I did like, yeah, I
the
did like the
feather
first fight out.
jacket and the
Yeah,
eyeliner.
yeah. I did like the first fight album though. That's his thrash metal band.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, more groove thrash, but actually the first album's good. The second album's not good. He tried to be way too tough guy.
What's
But
the
the
difference
first album's
between
actually
thrash and groove thrash?
One's
well,
got a
like
groove, the other one doesn't.
fast.
Like I never people put groove on everything, and it's like
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
okay,
get
well,
it. Like when I
well,
think of groove, I think of funk and things like that. I
so
don't think of like
groove thrash would be like a '90s thing, like a Pantera type thing,
okay,
or like
okay.
whereas regular thrash, it can have grooves or but regular thrash, it all depends on whether or not the grooves are predominant or whether or not they're just a side thing.
So
For
rhythm
example,
necessarily?
what?
So rhythm in sense, more rhythm guitar?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Um.
see.
For example, like Cannibal Corpse has some
Definitely
grooves in
has
it,
grooves in
but
it.
you wouldn't call them like slam.
No.
Yeah, but so yeah, it all depends. So yeah, Rob Halford
And
in
then
the
you have
'90s,
6 feet under.
which is more groove and also awful.
I love 6 feet under.
Snakes.
I
Yeah,
love Six
yeah.
Feet Under.
I like 4 albums, but man, I hate 6 feet under most of the time.
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Snakes, snakes,
Yes.
snakes.
Yes.
I,
Indeed.
it's ridiculous. But then again, I like Sanguisugabog, so there you go.
Yeah, there we go. It's all about that fucking random ass bullshit.
You don't know what, Jim. You don't know what metal is.
Nobody does. Dun 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 dun. Bitch,
Jim
I
doesn't.
got fucking mercury coming up my veins. I'll probably be dead in 3 minutes, but I got mercury in my veins.
I'll be right back. I need a taco.
You know, it's I get Jim on the show. He's from Pittsburgh, and he doesn't actually know any Pittsburgh musicians.
Yeah,
Like,
it happens, you know.
we could be interviewing the guys from Circle of Dead Children. They're from Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
Dream Death.
Yeah.
Dream Death.
I heard you. I'm back. You. You could be interviewing Chris from Leprosy.
Yeah,
Which
should
we
be
will.
doing that. We will. We'll get on that.
You need to do that.
And I'm going to try to interview. Well, I'm not going to say it publicly, but I've been suggested to interview a musician from a very very well known Pittsburgh area death doom band.
Nice.
Uh, I won't say publicly because it probably won't happen, but it's Sharon from Dracada.
Nice. If you could do that.
Yeah, that would be it. I mean, we know she's cool. We've talked to her. That was Jeannie from You Go to Her God suggested that, and I was like, shit, you don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, there we go.
And she knows King, who we of course interviewed a couple years ago, and who was always welcome back on the show. I don't know why he would come back, this madhouse, but
While we're talking about bands, I gotta plug my buddy Ed's band, Autumn's Darkness. They're kind of a, I don't know what you want to call them. I guess kind of a doomcore, kind of gloomy, introspective type music. It's pretty good.
what are they called?
They're called Autumn's Darkness.
All right.
Autumn's Darkness. I'll have to check that out.
Yes, we will. And I'll, now that I'm back on Facebook, I can get people and get more interviews and shit. Because that's how I used to get interviews. It was, I would just message people on Facebook, hey, you want to be on this shitty show? And
Yeah,
they
that's
go,
a good
no,
way to
never.
do it.
They go, no, never contact me again.
Oh man, the Pittsburgh metal scene, it's thriving, and we also have some pretty decent core bands that have been around forever. Leprosy's one of them. Lethal Prayer, Rotravor, fucking
Rotravor!
whole bunch of different genres.
I love
as
Rotravor.
well. Like there's some newer bands out that are eating up a lot of space, and it's really cool to see it all happen. I hope to get to some more shows this year myself.
Yeah, gotta be able to afford it. That's all.
Yeah, and people from other places love the Pittsburgh scene. King Fally talks about how much he loves Pittsburgh. Killjoy from Necrophagy because he's from Wellsville. He used to hang out at Pittsburgh clubs all the time. Even Midnight, they love the Pittsburgh scene, even like the Hell's Headbangers guys. So yeah, it was weird because I knew, like when I met Jim, I knew like the band Real Enemy from Pittsburgh. They're hardcore punk from the '80s. That's about all I knew. I was like, oh, I didn't know all these. They had all these cool bands.
Submachine's
So
still kicking it.
what?
Submachine, they're still around.
Yeah, I know Rotravor's still around. They just posted a.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Submachine's still around.
Okay. I
They
know.
were a grindcore band in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I think Circle of Dead Children broke up, sadly. The funny thing. The funny thing is, I never heard of Leprosy before. I'd only heard of the Mexican band, and I listened to this. I was like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're decent. They're a very just gore. Like when you go to their shows, you get a show. There's like blood
Yep.
and theatrics and stuff like that, and they really have a lot of death influences, Cannibal Corpse influences.
Oh yeah, they're really good.
They're decent.
I'm sure there's some great stories there, but of course, Dream Death, amazing band. I love Dream Death.
Well, the guys, yeah, I mean, Dream Death's pretty cool. Linda Lou, one of the drummer's friends, sent me their demo. I think it came out in '89, something like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
I-
Made me laugh because it was so descriptive. Everything like this. There's this one song called I think The Elder Race.
Oh yeah.
my
Oh yeah.
goodness.
That's.
I loved it.
It was funny because I had a friend who was from a local band called Social Overload, and he kept telling me, "You got to check out Dream Death. You got to check out Dream Death." And he went to my I had bands play at my birthday for a couple of years. That was fun, by the way. I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Next time I went to Amoeba, we were looking at the tapes because they were like $1. And
Yeah.
I mean, and they had Journey into Mystery for $1. I think they had
Oh,
that,
no shit.
and the Hell Witch tape, Syzygial
Well,
Miscreancy.
Journey into Mystery, like the raw rough one. That's the one I have.
Yeah, that was from 87, 88.
Yeah, okay.
I put it on, and wow, it's like, it was amazing. I love that album. Great album. It was on New Renaissance, I believe, same as Necrophagia.
Okay.
I'm still sad we couldn't interview Killjoy. I come back from a race and, oh, by the way, Killjoy's dead. It's like, oh, well, there goes my good day.
Well,
Yeah,
we used to have a label called Relapse Records. And I think it was based out of Millville, PA. I want to say, I'm not certain. But it was this, like, mail order catalog. Back in the late 80s, late 90s, you could get just bands that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else.
I love places like that.
It was just great. It was a mail order catalog. You could just grab whatever. So you'd get, like, I don't know, like you wanted Skinny Puppy on blood red vinyl. They'd give it to you. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a place. Yeah,
Do you have anything like that around you?
there's a place called Amoeba Music, which still exists in Hollywood, San Francisco, and Berkeley, I believe. And yeah, you can get all sorts of interesting things. I found stuff that I didn't even know was in stores. I mean, now of course I get it. They just asked the wholesaler and blah blah blah. But yeah, I got like pretty obscure, brutal death stuff. Now, of course, now I just now. I mean, ordering it's cool, but it kind of takes the magic out of finding it in stores. Like now, I have a lot like the Slaughtered Priest "Bang Your Head for Satan" album, which I really love. I got that a couple months ago. That's one of my other favorite albums of this year, of last year. Slaughtered Priest "Bang Your Head for
Anti-Flag
Satan."
from Pittsburgh?
What?
Isn't Anti-Flag from Pittsburgh?
I
Isn't
Yeah.
Anti-Flag from Pittsburgh?
No, I think that's next year.
What?
You think that's next year? Anti-flag Pittsburgh? What?
No, isn't Anti-Flag from Pittsburgh?
Are they? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. They're from Pittsburgh. They broke up recently. I guess
really?
I guess the singer's like in Rapist, basically.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
That happens, yeah.
Wow. These are
Yeah,
things that I
Justin-
did not know.
Yeah, Justin Sane or whatever he's called.
Jeez, that's
I guess he was. I guess he was been accused of like raping multiple women.
Ew.
Oh, man.
Now I feel like sickness in my stomach.
It kind of vindicates because I never really liked the Anti-Flag as a kid. Like I was like, okay, they're, but I liked the other bands better. So I was never a huge Anti-Flag fan. So
I liked them a little bit when I was younger.
But then again, at the same time, I also listen to music where people literally murder other people.
Yeah.
Like
Murder is a-okay.
Like
Rape
Die
is
for
not.
the Government was
Yeah,
was
murder's
alright. Like Die for the Government was alright.
yeah, murder's okay, rape's not.
Assault,
Murder's
murder,
okay.
arson, this is all fine. The moment you rape someone, that's it. You're cut.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking ugh. That pisses me off.
That's a good, yes. Assault. I mean, it's. I mean, I don't know. I probably still listen to his music, but I'd probably punch him in the face too. So
That's the vibe I'm getting. The punch in the face vibe. And
I probably
local,
would.
So it's like
I probably would. I probably wouldn't buy his music. Like I download it. Like I don't know. It's kind of the same thing with shall we say, NS stuff. Like I'll listen to it, but I'm not buying it.
No.
I mean, I got some good stuff there, but I'm not gonna sit here and listen to it with her around because it's like, yeah, and I'm not gonna subject my kids to it either. It's like, nah. It's
I don't know.
okay, but maybe if they swap the lyrics around or something, I don't know.
I don't know. I showed the aggravated assault song to my GF, and she just started. She thought it was hilarious.
I won't dance to music that's not for me. If it's specifically not for me, then I will not listen to it. I'm black, by the way.
Yes, we know this. I know the audience doesn't,
don't.
but I'm just saying that, yeah. Just saying.
Well, we won't play it here. Although this next song is called "Hitler Was a Pretty Cool Guy" by SS Panzer Division.
Okay.
We're gonna interview Kanye next. Should interview Kanye.
No. Just no. We're not gonna do that.
But you need diversity on your show.
We need diversity. I mean, I'd rather interview Stone Vengeance. I only really heard like 5 or 6 songs by them, and they were pretty good.
They were pretty good, actually.
But me not even being like a hardcore fan of theirs, just knowing the name and liking their shit.
They kept going and going and going.
What?
They kept going and going and going. I was like, damn, okay.
So we actually need some diversity. We could do that. Yeah. Ooh.
There is actually Nazi deathcore, and it is as terrible as you think it is.
God, no.
Is that like Soviet wave?
Soviet wave. Yeah. It's probably Soviet wave. Yeah.
No. I found something better. Nazi screamo.
Oh my goodness.
God, no.
I can't even think of anything worse. That's like the lowest of the low.
We're trying to recruit people desperately.
No, you gotta put like Christian
us.
at the end of that too, because then it would be just.
I mean,
because then it would be lyrics that had everything to do with the cause, and the music would suck.
I mean,
that's what extremist lyrics do, like Christian lyrics to Christian songs, like Christian metal. And then like hyper satanic ones. It's all about the message they're putting out, and the music just fails. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't agree about satanic ones because I think that they actually do. But a lot of the problem with Christian and Nazi stuff, not just the appalling lyrics, is again, like Mortification and a lot of like NS bands. They don't mix their albums very well. There's not a lot of like musicality. It's just we want to recruit into this scene. I mean, I've never heard any Christian black metal that I thought was any good. I'll say that right now.
It's not Christian black metal. It's unlight metal.
I think it's an oxymoron. But and a lot of NS stuff is like, wow,
unblack, unlight.
Well, yeah.
There's a band called Devout that literally has a inverted cross in their albums, the one album cover, and they were talking about it having to do with more of Judas's demise instead of Jesus' demise, and it was like a concept album or some shit like that. I don't know. They were out of Australia.
Mortification.
Mortification, I actually
the first 2 albums are good.
I don't know. Yeah, like I could say like older Mortification I can deal with.
Yeah. Horrid is the black metal band from Australia. They're awful. Christian
Heard of them.
Christian black metal. But so Mortification, the first 2 albums were good, and then I think they spent more time focused on the whole God lyrics than the music.
That's what I mean. It happens all the time.
Yep.
Because they're pushing the message, and I'm like, cool. It's great to have conviction and be poetic in your worship and be cool as a Christian. That's how, I would express myself if I was an artist. But at the same time, make music.
That's the
Whereas
main
I
point. Make the music.
whereas I think that Kristen should be set on fire. But then again,
God bless you, Elliot.
I'm
Satan
more the
bless
camp.
you too.
Everyone needs to be set on fire at least once in their lives. I've been set on fire a few times. Jeff did
Yeah.
that once. We were sitting there getting
You got
stoned on the
set
back porch.
fire?
Yeah. I was getting stoned underneath Jeff's back porch, as always. And I had the torn jeans, as you did back in the 90s. And he lit the fray ends on fire, and my pants caught fire. And I was too stoned out of my mind to remember to stop, drop, and roll. So I just ran around his yard screaming, "Ah, I'm on fire! I'm on fire!" until I remembered to roll on the ground. And I think I rolled in some dog shit.
Man, critical fail.
Yep. But the fire was out,
You are what you roll it. Hey, by the way, can I make jokes, a lot of anti-Christian jokes, but I will listen to Christian metal if it's good. I'll listen to metal about anything if it's good. Then there are Christian bands.
You'll date a Christian if she's good.
And I'll admit,
No.
I get down to a little morbid angel sometimes. I'm not gonna say I don't like.
I won't
some
date a
stuff. I used to listen to GSI when I was a kid, but I just don't get into it anymore.
No, I
See,
want
it's
that.
like the
Doesn't
first
move
4 albums of fucking Morbid Angel, 5 albums, 4 or 5 depending.
6.
Like there are some songs that
That's
like
fucking brutal.
for
but
the sheer musicianship of it.
No, Jim.
I'm
Jim,
sorry, Jim. Go
I
ahead.
won't date a Christian. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah,
That joke's-
you're not getting pooned tonight after she hears
No.
that.
But I mean, Tourniquet has some good albums. Vengeance Rising, they're good Christian thrash, and a couple others. But yeah, I am a Satanist, and I do listen to. I'm becoming friends with a band called Piss on Christ from Florida, and all their songs are about. Here's an album. Go to the Vatican, uncover the holy child porn dungeon, and take a shit on the Pope's little bitch face.
There we go.
Wow.
That's that's an album.
Okay.
Yeah.
But-
This happens. As
they're
one
actually-
does.
But they're actually nice guys and actually good music. They have guys from members from Suffocation
It
actually.
sounds like
in
they
the band.
have a
So they're-
great sense of humor. That made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, that's why I checked them out because I was like, seriously?
Yep. That's great. There,
But
yeah.
I did get my GF into the third Dissection album, which is one of the most satanic albums I could think of, because she likes the melodic nature of it, and she's like, basically she just thinks, oh yeah, you and your satanic mumbo jumbo about the 11-headed dragon or whatever, fine, you're going to hell, I don't care.
That reminds me of Fishbones. May your dog's colon be familiar with the warmth of your breath.
May your dog's colon be familiar with the warmth of your breath.
Fine.
Yes.
I'm going to hell or whatever. Not that I believe in hell, but fine, I'll go to hell. And also, but unfortunately, you're also going to hell because you know me. So, sorry.
Yay, hell, where I get to torture me some sinners.
I'm gonna torture me some.
I don't actually believe in hell either.
I'm going presidents.
I'm one of those weird Christians. I'm an interfaith Christian.
I am
wanna-
going to install the empire of Quarf.
Look.
Quarf is a portmanteau of queef and barf. Imagine vomiting from the vag.
Look, I
Yes,
just want
it
to
can
torture
only happen in
Reagan.
fantasy life, but just imagine it for a second.
I don't want to.
You go down to fucking eat some pussy, and then the pussy just vomits on you. She just quarfed in your face. Quarf.
She vomits, but it sounds like
Somebody make that as an album cover. We'll use it for the first Maggot Phlegm album.
Yeah.
just a vag vomiting. Ew.
This is the name of my empire, Quarf.
So I haven't really talked about it, but our videos have become not that we make any money, but YouTube's contacting me like every day saying this video is demonetized. This video is demonetized. This video is demonetized. You wonder why. You wonder why it's demonetized now.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna be hard to find in that algorithm. That's why we try to use other sites to promote our shit.
And that's why you should always subscribe, and you should always click that stupid bell thing to know when we make videos. And you should worship us and fucking join our sex cult.
Or
Right.
yell at us
Really
consistently,
think we should.
screaming how vulgar and insane we are.
And I really think you should get a fund going for your art project.
I'm definitely not going to get any tonight.
Definitely not.
What's this about a sex cult? And
So many explanations, so little time. I think I'll be going to the door now. I'll talk to you in about like 2 hours.
this is the Swine Brothers Show after a 5-month break, and the host on 0 caffeine. It's a train wreck, but it's a fun train wreck.
Yes, a train wreck as always. Let's
Choo
get
choo.
this train wreck going on with some more music.
Yes, which she'll probably hate, but whatever, I don't care.
Vikings come in. You better get ready for a hell of a fight. The longboats come in. I'm looking like trains in the dead of night. Most of the men from all the villages better get ready to fight with your enemies. We can burn in. I'm giving the world to get ready to fight. Battle is near in. You better get ready to fight me live. Most of the men from all the villages, you better get ready to fight with your enemies.
first one was Iron Maiden with Invasion off their Women in Uniform single, B-side.
And also off of B-side best of compilations. You're not really a metalhead unless you have a billion of those Iron Maiden best of the Beast and B-sides and all sorts of weird compilations.
Mhm.
And the next one, speaking of Iron Maiden,
That was Deceased covering Iron Maiden with Wrathchild.
from many things, all you can get it on the Cadaver Traditions compilation. Is it really a Swine Brothers show if there's not like a Deceased or October 31 song?
I don't know.
And of course, Maiden. The Maiden has to be one of my. I don't know. They might.
It was a pseudo Maiden block. We had Maiden, then a cover of Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yes, because Maiden has to be my favorite metal band, or my favorite band, really.
That was definitely one of my tops.
I was stuck when you were having whatever you were doing after Christmas. I was stuck in the middle of the desert. Good food, but a lot of boredom. And one of the things I had was the Maiden and Priest discographies, and boy, that saved my sanity there. A lot of Maiden, a lot of Priest.
Well, while I was doing it, Tom was trying to expose the kids to things. I shipped them a bunch of links to shit that
Also-
they would have grown up with, and they tried to show me this is what we're listening to, and I gotta teach my son to have better taste in music. My daughter's into electronic stuff, fine, dandy. Son, though, he got into new metal. It's like, no, you're gonna find good music. You're gonna find
Also,
the good music now.
Also, you haven't listened to Maiden until you listen to the unremastered versions, which I have. Like Aces High. Man, the unremastered ones, you can hear so much more bass stuff. What Steve's doing on the bass. Man, it's magical, man. The weed helped. The weed definitely helped. But yeah.
The weed always
Hey,
helps.
I made it back.
Yes, you made it back.
Oh yeah, now that we're like 3 hours into the show, Happy New Year, assholes.
It's only an hour and a half.
Oh.
It only feels like 3 hours. Sweet
Happy
bullshit.
Pube Year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Happy
doesn't-
New Year, people. Yay, everyone enjoy
Yeah,
the
Happy New Year to all our fans, including the 3 fans that still remember we exist.
Hey, asshole.
Now the cat has decided to destroy everything, as per usual.
We will we
Appreciate it.
promised to have more content this year. I don't know if more shows, but we'll have more content.
Yes, more content. I've been getting that Crusader Kings 3 lately. I know. With the fucking Empire of Quarf, I've also founded the religion of Krasp, which is if you take the Norse religions, their gods, and replace their gods with cannibalism.
Yay! Yes, Jim's been playing video games. I've been talking to Metal Legends. But yes, pagan religion, but cannibalism. I like that. That works for me. But yes, we'll do more interviews, more content. We'll just do more.
Do more. With
I'll feed-
less.
I hope not less. We don't have anything. What are you talking about? With less.
We can have less than nothing. I know this. I was homeless.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
can
right.
definitely have less than nothing.
I'd rather not have less than nothing, though.
Yes.
I already have no eyes. I don't need other. How about not having a nose? Hi.
Say, when you stare into the abyss and the abyss stares back at you, you just go give the abyss a beer because it's time to hang out. 'Cause the abyss is pretty cool.
Wait a minute. I give the abyss a beer. The abyss doesn't give me a beer.
No, you give the abyss a beer because the
Oh,
abyss
okay,
has
okay.
nothing.
And the abyss has nothing, so you got to give it the beer, so the beer gets in it, and the abyss gets drunk, and it pisses it out, and it goes back to having nothing. But now
But-
it's drunk.
Yeah, well, you
This
know,
is
last
where
time.
accidental dread comes from.
Well, you know, last time I talked to the abyss, it actually gave me a beer. Maybe he just likes you more. Likes me more.
Nah, maybe it just gave you my beer, so it would have nothing
Oh.
again. Because I gave it a
Yeah.
beer, and then probably you took the beer I gave it. That was the beer I had up my ass, you know. That was
His
a phase
ass
I was
beer.
going through with the prostitute, you know.
His ass beer.
What phase? I saw you this. I've seen the website, man.
I've seen the
What
website.
What phase?
www.assbeer.com.
Yes.
Drink beer straight from my rectal orifice. Dun dun dun. Dun-dun.
Gotta get that OnlyFans up.
That's the worst image I think I've ever had in my head. By the way, everyone, I hate doing this show.
Well, I'm just exposing you to
What?
images
The
you
worst
never
image
wanted.
in your head could be Jim with his legs up in the air and a beer being poured down his ass crack and somebody drinking it. That's the worst image? Really?
You know, in 2015, I was just a wide-eyed kid who wanted to start his own show, and I met this guy named Jim who was like older, and I was like, cool. He seems like an old cool metalhead. I'd love to have him on the show like once or twice. Now I'm like, fuck, why did I do that?
Well, now you've been exposed to things that no man should have ever seen.
You
I've
realize
shown
that
you how. I've shown you the entire collage of like, this is what the mainstream left looks like now. Oh my God, why does it look like that? Yeah, I know you're on the left, Elliot.
And don't
It's
forget.
I knew
fine
it-
you're on the left,
And
but
don't-
I knew
but,
it-
you got to remember that you knew those idiots existed, but you did not know they were mainstream. Well, they
No.
are the voice now.
And don't
When-
forget
when-
the liturgy
whenever-
of Blink.
whenever I was getting into it, those are the people we laughed at.
Hmm.
Those are the people. Get on.
Those are the guys on the fringes. Now you're realizing, oh shit, they write articles for major papers that fucking get airtime on major network TV. They
Yep.
literally are the voice now. Why did we let them take charge?
and now I get yelled at for saying that I'm on the left but disagree with those people because now I'm a fascist or something.
Yeah, you're somehow fascist, even though you're a fucking lefty.
If I was a fascist, I wouldn't let Jim on the show.
Meanwhile, you hear my descriptions on here. I say, yeah, I'm a conservative, and they call me a fucking commie. Fuck them.
Not because of political differences. Jim's just inferior.
I'm liberal scum.
Everyone is scum. Take a drink from my cock.
Ew.
That's my job.
Drink from my spine.
No.
Spinal
I said
fluid.
drink, not eat. You eat from my cock. Everyone else can just drink from it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I know. I know.
And now we have traumatized
And then
anyone listening to this.
and then after that, they can drink from my spinal fluid. That'll give you the power of a blind pothead.
Your spinal fluid.
Yeah, some of what we did over the little break was I got really high. She got really high, and we recorded some of our shit, posted it on because some of it was only like a minute long. I threw some of it up on that fucking TikTok thing. I got some up here on fucking Facebook.
Really bad.
The one thing was don't circumcise your Pokemon.
Oh, that's another. Yeah, okay.
Because she saw a porn with Mr. Mime in it.
So one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a friend to do just a metal-centric show where we talk about metal we like and different stupid things involved in the metal scene, such as tomb mold and furries and things. Oh God, don't get me started on furries.
I met like 3 that are actually okay people, but there's a lot of fucking degenerates there that fucking shit.
Street justice.
I mean, I'm a fucking degenerate, but these guys, no. That's a completely different league.
I have never met an okay furry. I think that furries are weird sex offenders. By the way, that's Elliott who said that. So if you want to yell at me, go ahead. But yeah, furries are freaks. Anyway,
I bumped into like 3 that were like decent, but like there's so much filth you'll bump, especially online.
Part of it, so part of this metal show is, it's hard to imagine, but I'm actually sober for Swine Brothers. I think I've drank a beer once or twice. In fact, I'm getting kind of thirsty. But I think I've drank, a couple beers once or twice, but I've never, you son of a bitch. I've never, but for the metal show, basically what's going to happen, I'm going to eat an edible and we're going to start talking and see what happens. So the show might be even more of a train wreck than Swine Brothers.
Oh my God. Yeah. Fucking We thought we were getting edibles with pot in them, and one was like had mushrooms in it. So I ate half a bar and tripped my ass off.
I still remember when we like I think we had an edible at the same time, and
Like you're there, you're flying, and I'm like, I'm not feeling anything. And then like as you're finally coming down, like 12 hours later, I'm starting to feel it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out, Jim. I'm gonna be here alone. I'm starting to feel like really, really high. I haven't been this high in years. What the fuck's going on? I ate like half a bag. Why did I eat half a bag?
I have screenshots of the conversation.
the cool thing about me is I'm a lightweight. I only need one 10 milligram one to be flying, and Jim needs like 1,000. So that's the cool thing about me is I'm a lightweight. But yeah, it was funny. I was like, yeah, I'm getting tired. I'm going to
I
bed.
mean,
Bye.
I'm still a lightweight. I seldom get high, but when I do,
I still well I've done that and that's fun and all, but I've had enough. You are the blasphemy for a while. You are the blasphemy.
whenever you mistake the toaster as a toilet, and you just
But I do
sit
that.
on it, and people are wondering why you're toasting your ball sack.
I do that all the time. You don't do that all the time.
I know, right?
I mean, I do that. I do that sober. What are you talking about?
Yes, everyone should toast their nut sacks in the toaster.
Yes, everyone, even the women. Stupid. We're out of practice, people, but we're getting better.
Yes, we're out of practice. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, back to the news, which I know nothing about.
Yes,
Oh,
and
wait,
she'll
I found it.
and she'll probably hate.
I mean, I remember there was a point here where like everyone was screaming about like something. And
My
I was
hookers
like,
are all zombies.
Everyone sucks. Yeah.
My hookers are all zombies. That sounds like a personal problem. I can't help you with that shit. The problem is that they devour their guys before they get their money. So just take the wallet then. Fucker ain't using it where he's going. I don't see the issue. The issue is my camera stopped working. It's a win-win situation. Hookers fed and you get cash. I was having fun filming it. They scream so loud sometimes. You guys are so fucked up.
Yeah, this is what happens when we get high together. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You can use the wallet to fix the camera. Now, gotta think ahead of these things.
Jim, yes, I just talk about obscure metal and lose my train of thought all the time. It's funny whenever I'm talking in high, I'll make a point and you know how I'm meandering now. Like I can make a point and then make another point and then circle back. Well, when I'm high, I'm trying to make one point, but I think of about 10 other things to say. So I say those 10 other things and then I'm like, wait. What was my original point?
An example, necromancy, fun for the full family. And then Jim says, it's like a decaying, rotting foot, like the toe jammiest foot inside of an asshole. Maggot punted into the snot bag arena. Now I'm hungry.
Maggot punting. I mean, that needs to be a thing. Maggot punting.
Well, our band is actually called Maggot Phlegm, so we can actually write that.
The unhinged ramblings of the inebriated.
Yes,
I've-
this happens.
I've come up with every band name that I can think of while very high. Maggot Phlegm, very, very high.
Maggot phlegm.
I was reading a cracked article, and they're talking about the ropes of Maggot Phlegm, and I was like, Maggot Phlegm, that sounds like a good band name for like a gore grind band or death metal band. We also have our gore grind band is going to be called necrotizing fasciitis, which is a real disease. That's what got not killed him, but Jeff Hanneman got necrotizing fasciitis, and there's no band called that, so we're going to call ourselves that. We're not even being creative. We're just stealing disease names.
You can call yourself vaginal disembowelment.
It's when it eats through the skin and shit.
You know, when you're on the bus and you just go like piss on one of the passengers across the bars. You know, that's just what happens on Tuesday.
That's why I don't go on buses.
I'm actually in the process of writing lyrics for Autumn's Darkness. And there are some subject matters I'm gonna get into that are kind of horrific, and
I mean, it's metal. We want horrific subject matter.
well, one of them has to do with mutilonecrophilia,
Okay.
and it's pretty decent. Like,
Yeah, it's
not
pretty
decent, but
I like.
you know what I mean.
I like.
It was intriguing
how
to
she,
me.
I like how she was all hesitating. Like, well, I was like, okay. It's like, I'm completely like. There's a band called Anal Vomit, and I didn't even bat an eye at the name. Like everyone, like or Goat Semen. Like, you, how could you like a band called Goat Semen? I was like, I don't know.
Well, this
Just
guy,
I didn't even think
This
about
is
it.
Tuesday for
I
me,
was
you know.
I was listening to this podcast called Last Episode on the Left. And
Circle of Dead Children. It's just,
they're pretty decent, right? So
Yeah.
they were talking about necrophilia, and it was just a very, academic discussion on necrophilia. And this one case came up, and they were talking about how this guy woke up and he was wrapped in his mother's entrails, and he had no idea what happened, how he had gotten in that predicament. His mom, obviously deceased,
and he said, don't stop.
and
You
he
know,
was
you're just breaking the
and he
corners
kind of
off.
just.
Sometimes you just gotta break in the corners
It
off.
was apparent that he had, disemboweled her corpse, and so the police, when they found him, because he turned himself in, and the police, when they found him, didn't even like press charges because they felt that that was punishment enough, like that the guy had suffered enough. So obviously, they sent him to an asylum, obviously, but
Yeah,
it was
you have to go to a
so-
loony bin after that, you know. Cause
I was just like, oh
you know,
man.
'cause sometimes you just wake up and decide, I gotta go into the coroner's office,
I
break
mean,
my
he
mom
had-
out of the fucking cooler, wrap myself in her entrails, and rub one out.
I mean, he had.
I
Like,
mean, I do that all the time. What's the big deal?
He had defiled her. He had like grabbed 2 meters of entrails out of her, wrapped himself in them, rubbed one out, and fell asleep.
Nice. Yay, mother corpse, right? Yeah, that would be an awesome song.
So I need to construct a song that visualizes that particular act, because I'm
Good.
just blown away that ever happened.
Yes. Meanwhile, I'm writing a song about surgical zombification. It's called
Yes.
Surgical Zombification.
Mhm.
Yes, I don't know, that's what happens on
Surgical
Tuesday.
zombification.
Because I was reading about bugs that basically take control of another bug and basically write it, basically control its brain and make it, and the idea of, turning into a zombie via surgery.
There's
It's just
different
awesome.
fungi that do that too.
Yeah. And I wrote a song. I also wrote a song called "I Ate Jim," but that's another story.
You know,
You ate Jim?
I got involved with some of these fucking face.
Yeah.
And one of them had this one guy was posting this thing that was like, trying to mock people for not getting Friends references, the TV show Friends. Now I'm like, dude, the only reason I thought that thing was on the air for as long as it was, for the longest time, I believed that we falsely pumped up its ratings because we were too stoned to grab the remote. That is the only way you watched it, was if you were too stoned to grab the remote. Me actually finding out that it has a fan base that was sober, that's mortifyingly stupid. Why the hell would
I
anyone
grew
like
up
that show?
because it's vicarious. They wish they had friends like that.
Okay, yeah, you wish you had friends like yuppies. You wish you had yuppie friends.
I don't.
Who
But
wants yuppie friends? Dear God, that's like
most
horrible.
people.
Why would you want yuppies as friends? They do nothing but backstab and social climb. That is like their two major functions in life, is backstabbing and social climbing. And that's all they do. And these
They
are
don't
the
care
friends
who
you
they
want.
step on
These
either.
people are like
Yep.
the most betrayal-minded there are.
Yep, because they don't understand, because they're actually afraid of people who are on the other side. They're actually oh, he's going nowhere with his life. He must be a loser. Oh, she's, upwardly mobile. She's living in a big apartment. She must be, doing something. But yeah, I think a lot of people like the show because, it was, oh, the wacky gang of friends and they go on little adventures but they always band together at the end and they're trading witty barbs and, oh, I wish I had friends like these. My parents liked the show. I watched it when I was 5 or 6, and all I could think of was, wow, these guys are really stupid.
And all I could think of is like, dear God, could I be lobotomized instead of fucking watching this? Could someone please grab the remote? I'm too stoned to move. I'm too stoned to move. I'm too stoned to move.
And all
He's
I could
passed
think
out.
of is there's only one half black woman in all of New York.
See, I was lucky in that whenever I got too stoned to move, most of the time it was on the Home Shopping Network for some reason.
Oh,
So I would
Home
watch.
Shopping Network kicks ass whenever you're stoned,
Fuck
man.
yeah.
There was no need to fucking change it because
I need that 10
Jim,
karat
you would
gold
hear all the
tanzanite.
skinny details about this strange coin collection or this fucking
knives.
knife or like.
I need that 10 karat gold tanzanite earring set.
Jim,
Let's
I didn't
matching.
need this shit. It was just awesome seeing how into
Swords.
these mundane items there were.
With the
The
matching
swords
you
were
watch-
fucking. The swords were fucking awesome though. When I did swords,
I
knives.
mean, they were horrible. They were like
they had replica firearms.
I saw replica. There were because I was there. I had my friend and I were there. And we were watching the Home Shopping Network. And they had a replica. This is a replica of King Arthur's sword, and apparently it looked so hilariously awful that Puke wanted to buy it.
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
This is awful. I want it.
I need that cubic chromia
Yeah.
diamond
Ah.
diamond-eke ring.
Did you ever see the? Did you ever see the one where the guy hurt himself with the swords on the Home Shopping Network? He was swinging them around to show him, and he accidentally stabbed himself.
My one buddy Stern, he actually, like we were doing prank calls, and he actually got on the. He bullshit his way to get on the air because I guess it was a slow night. And then he had
Nice.
someone, and he got on the air, and all he says, "I'm just looking," and then hung up. I mean, yeah, it's such a lame fucking joke, but come on, he actually got on air to say it.
Hey, I love stuff like, especially when Puke. You know how they have like the Playboy channel and like if you have a problem with your love life, call in. Puke got on the Playboy channel. He made up this wild story about, so I was having sex with my sister in the barn, and I think she's seeing someone else. And the guy's like, you know what? You guys need a life. You don't have anything better to do than prank me.
He said it was a prank.
And Puke, before the guy hung up on it, don't you have anything better to do than prank me? And Puke goes, no. I just like, no. It was some weird story about like he was having sex with his sister in a barn and he thinks she was interested in someone else because she didn't seem as into it as last time.
Yeah. It's my sister in the barn. What you gonna do about it?
Well,
Oh, God,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm doing with the Empire Quarf. God. And she's already.
Well-
she just gave birth to the kid and then betrothed herself to her son. So
So-
once he becomes a man of age, she can marry him, and the inbreeding continues.
so the guy goes, "What you mean you perform sex with your sister?" And he goes, "Yeah. After the second kid, she wasn't that into it though." It was great. It was just like, don't you have anything better to do than prank call? No. Oh my god, we laughed. And someone, you know how people who try weed for like the first time, they get all paranoid. one of the hangers-on was paranoid that the police were going to be called because we prank called a TV show. So he tried to race home, but he was so stoned he fell over. He was
That
so terrible.
reminds me of He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, he ate pot brownies one day,
Yeah.
like, he came stumbling out and said, "I feel like I'm tripping," and stumbled off in the distance. And I remember we were smoking a bong on Jeff's back porch, as always, underneath it. And,
Yeah.
like, someone was like, "Shouldn't we go after him?" And I was like, "No, he knows what he's doing."
But basically, we just left him there. But he was like, "They're gonna call the cops and arrest us." And I mean, I was high, but I was like, "No, look, even if they know, they don't care. They're just gonna hang up on us and yell at us a little." But the guy was so spooked. It's funny because every time, because I've had anxiety after a really, big hit or whatever, but I've never let it like control me. Like I've always just been like, okay, I know I'm tripping. I know intellectually that I'm tripping, and I just have to write it out. You are the blasphemy. Vroom, vroom. Go away, Jim. You are the blasphemy. I remember that night I was so high, I actually looked at the Skype thing because I wanted to make sure I didn't call you by accident.
Bang, bang, bang. We're sorry. Jim's not here at the moment. Please leave a message.
Quaff. Quaff. There was one time where my GF wanted to talk after, and I had 3 weed gummies, right? So I was like, dude, I think I'm too stoned. I wrote back that I was too stoned to talk. She was like, oh, come on, give it a try. Hi. I was like, hi. She was like, yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah, this isn't good. We're not going to get any more of this conversation.
She goes, are you okay? Spider. And then I started laughing uncontrollably.
Sorry.
Because I thought it was hilarious.
You think it was hilarious. Yes, that's what
One of
happened.
these days we have to get Jim and I have to do a show, or not a show, but a thing high. But we have to time it because we screwed up the timing last time.
Yeah, next time we'll do it like whenever we're both ripped to like bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum bum.
Yeah, I didn't realize it takes me a lot shorter to not.
Actually, I found some shit that acts a lot quicker because it's a lot more chewable for my 3 remaining teeth.
That was funny though. I was like, man, this, and I even like, man, I think Jim got ripped off, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to bed. Bye. And I just like tripped out of my mind.
See, this is why I like the difference between the yuppie, uppity, word culture versus the gutter. You can have true friendships in the gutter. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to do any of that shit. You can just hang out and laugh at the people that are stoned out of their minds. Because you'll get a lot more true friendships because people are more honest in the gutter. When you get the upwardly mobile thing, everything's all about, hiding who you really are. And that's why you get these stars, these fucking big names in corporate and all this other shit that keep being found out to be like pedophiles and shit because they gotta hide everything they do. While in the gutter, well, you already know who's scum, who you want to avoid, and who you don't. Up at the top, they try to obfuscate it so much that you don't even know it half the time until it's like this huge scandal. It's like, I can't believe it. I love that guy. Yeah, well, he had sex with 3 toddlers. What you gonna do?
Only 3? What a lightweight. I did 5 like last week, allegedly.
Oh my.
Yeah. So sometimes I just say things forgetting that we're like, this is gonna be on YouTube. I have not had sex with a toddler.
No.
5-year-old, yes. Toddler, no.
Know your difference.
But the other thing about the gutter is people are willing to, okay, let's say someone cheated on their wife or whatever. Okay, they might think you're a scumbag, and if you're dating your sister, they might go after you. But okay, you did something bad. If we're close, we'll talk about it. If not, whatever. I'm not going to judge you or whatever. Just, I don't approve of your action, but I'm not going to cut you out of my life, right? But if you're
also
on
the fact that, sometimes things happened 5, 10, 15 years ago whenever you were a different person. Because we all fuck up when we're young.
Yeah, sure. But on the yuppie thing, I know people. Oh my god, I can never be friends with anyone who cheated ever. And I'm like, but you don't know the whole story. You don't know why, or and again, and also, why does that affect? I mean, okay, so he cheated on his wife. You're not his wife.
Yeah, it doesn't affect you really.
If we were both friends, that might, but it's the same thing. So, this guy in a band, Fang, he killed his girlfriend. It was a drug deal thing, and she was ripping him off, and he kind of strangled her to death. Bad thing. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, he was released from prison and reactivated Fang. I mean, he got sober and stuff, and and kids were boycotted. Kids who weren't even born in the '80s when Fang was doing their thing, were screaming to boycott Fang because, oh my God, the guy killed his girlfriend. And one of the older heads was like, wait a minute, this happened before you were born. You've never met him. You never met her.
And not only did it happen, before you were born, but also the guy went to prison, served his
He
time,
went to
and got
prison.
his
Yeah.
act together. And that's the key point. He got his act together, changing who he was. So you're saying that we should offer zero forgiveness to anyone who fucks up? No wonder you participate in cancel culture, because you can't forgive anyone. And that's why cancel culture is going to eventually come after you. Because you can't forgive, they won't forgive. It makes you feel all self-righteousy.
And next,
That's why
wow,
most
you
of our
said
most successful societies, look at the societies that died off. Rome was huge in this no forgiveness thing, but then Christianity rose up and became dominant. Why? Because forgiveness was a huge part of their canon. Wow, you can change your ways, you can change yourself as a human being. Yes, not everyone changes, but there's a few that do, and wow, you give them the chance, maybe they can.
yeah, well, yeah, and it's I mean the same. I mean, I hate the band, but the whole as they lay dying thing, and the guy hired was all hopped up on steroids and kind of insane, and hired a hitman to kill his wife, blah blah blah, blah, went to prison or whatever. And there's moralistic sites like Metal Fucks who are, oh, we're gonna boycott them because first off, he didn't actually kill anyone. It was pathetic. I think he hired a hitman at his gym, which turned out to be an undercover cop. Which, I'm sorry, if I was the target, I think I just burst out laughing. Like,
Yeah, you tried
wow.
hiring him at a gym. Yeah,
And it
okay.
turned out, yeah. I mean, if it was like the dark web, or even the dark web but come on, is that your local gym, really? But he went to prison for a couple years and stuff, and fine. He hasn't killed any. So I mean, same thing with our good friend Varg.
Hmm.
He went to. I mean, granted, he's still a Nazi, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's killed anyone lately.
No, I think his main thing has been trying to fuck people because he's got to boost the numbers of white people or some random bullshit. I don't know.
But then, well, it's the whole thing about. I mean, we have to look good in the public eye. We have to look good to our friends, our people, because we have to look proactive and progressive and like an ally. I hate that word, ally. It's there's so many words in
You
the
want to know
modern.
who was allies? The United States and the Soviet Union. They
And
were
once Hitler was,
allies.
yeah, once Hitler was vanquished, they turned on each other. But there's so much dystopian language in modern era that I hate. For example, we're content creators. We're not show hosts. We don't have a show. We're content creators. What content? Who cares? Just create it. Create the content. I don't know that it feels so weird and dystopian and unpersoned.
Yeah,
But
it
then again,
does sound
but
unpersoned.
but but
Like you're no longer a person. You're just a bot thrown into the mess.
content creator 5 6. But then again, there's also people who want to be called they/them, which I also think is weird and unpersoned. But whatever. Um,
Or they
cancel.
come up with weird pronouns, and it's like, God, really? You just want to try to be so unique that you're trying to find the most unique pronouns out there to call yourself.
How
That's
many?
why my preferred pronoun is asshole and cum fuck.
Jim, how many cancelable takes have we had this episode?
How many what?
How many times are we getting canceled after this episode?
No,
Furries or freaks?
I think we've offended everything and everyone. Yeah. So.
I don't know. Like over the past couple years, I've kind of tried to be a little bit nicer, but now I've stopped caring. I've been dealing with too many vegans and too many. Oh my God, you don't like me, so I'm gonna yell at you and report you, and too many.
My God.
I'm done with it. I'm done.
Oh God, vegans are like some of the worst fucking yuppies out there. God. And what's funny is like, oh look, the hipster is dead. No, they're still here. They've always been here. They've been here since the times of Christ. And the first atheist to say that fucking the Bible ripped off its material from older things. Well, thank you for proving my point that the idea is even older than that.
You know the Bible a little bit, Jim. People are saying that Jesus was a vegan.
Oh God, no. He ate shit. He ate what was prescribed in the Bible. No pork, yes. No pork, but there's plenty of other meat that was prescribed, and he ate that.
Because Jesus loved animals, and because they think that if you love an animal, you can't eat.
And one of the
other
things
animals.
was like you had the loaves and the fish.
Yep.
That was one of the major miracles listed in the Bible. I mean, he wouldn't be distributing that shit if he wasn't eating fish.
I've tried bringing that up and just got blocked every time because I brought up the loaves and the fishes. But the thing about vegans is like, okay, if you're a vegetarian, fine. And if you're a vegan and you don't talk about it, if it's just your lifestyle choice, that's fine. But I've never met a quiet vegan.
And it's also like, those weird fucking anti-theists saying, Jesus never existed. No, what you are opposing is the miracles happening. That's fine. The man existed. Why? A, Jesus was a very common name at the time. B, this was pretty much a distillation of various other, like, pretty much Jewish Protestant kind of things going on at the time where people were coming up with the more hippie-ish style of Judaism. I mean, fucking John the Baptist was one of them. That's why he was included, because he was a big name at the time for preaching similar canon. So, like, this is just a distillation of that. So it's easy to fucking see someone preaching similar shit.
Yeah, I disagree that there was a Jesus. I think that there was various different. The thing I read is that it was based on 2 or 3 different holy teachers. Interestingly enough, none of them were actually named Jesus. I forget what their name. I'm still waiting on the Christian who was going to show me undeniable proof of Christ's existence. Still waiting for that.
The undeniable proof is in the cross documentation.
You think that's weird? The Catholic thinks that Jesus' holy foreskin is a.
That's horrible. This is the foreskin of Christ.
No. Here's horrible. Some nun, Saint Catherine or something, she had some sort of vision where Jesus symbolically married her and gave her the foreskin as a ring. Like, I'm sorry. I could listen to Cannibal Corpse and be like, yeah, whatever. That would gross me out. I'd be like, Kate, you might want to wash that shit off, man. I'm a foreskin ring. That's gross. Yeah, Jesus' holy foreskin. So yeah, but yeah, vegans, and the funny thing is, I tell them how they can get more people, which is be nicer about it and like explain your thing reasonably and scientifically, and why are you trying to tell us how to why are you trying to tell us if you hate us? I'm like, because I love that I'm giving you advice and you're not listening to it. Because if I had an axe to grind, if I had some sort of, because they want everyone to be vegan, right? They want, that's their thing, is they want everyone to be what they are. But I don't know about you, Jim, but when I'm being yelled at, I'm not going to listen to people. Like, I don't, he's really yelling at me. I'm going to listen to everything he says.
Yeah, you're yelling at me and accusing me of being like, the most evil thing in the world. Of course, I'm going to follow everything you say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they call meat eaters carnists. You know how, Christians call it's a religious thing. So basically, what there's, meat. It's not that you just like meat. You believe in meat. You believe in cruelty. Your belief is based on cruelty. So they call us carnists.
Carnus.
Um,
Which sounds like carnal. Carnal. That's some good fucking there.
I want some. What? Oh, but it's just it's so yeah. After debating them and then the whole furry thing with the hardcore, there was some furry person who got hit at a hardcore show, and my response is, well, why are you wearing a goofy animal head to a show, you freak?
I mean, you realize that, you know, if you go to a hardcore or something like that, there's probably going to be a wash pit, and the best case scenario, that shit's going to be ripped off you because that's just something that happens in a mosh pit.
Yes, but also, why are you wearing an animal head that you can't see out of? I mean, are you just that much of a doofus? I don't know. I just wanted to call someone a doofus.
Doofus.
But yeah, so that's so yeah, we'll fucking idiots, all of them.
Let's
Kill them.
wash this idiocy from our skulls for a second.
Okay.
right. That first one was Colony Drop with Remade.
You're going to the Punishment Factory, Jim.
Hooray, Punishment Factory.
Off of Brace for Impact. It's actually funny because that was on Nameless Grave Records, and I highly recommend getting that. It's actually funny because Colony Drop, if you just told me what it was, it's crossover thrash from 2023 about video games, Gundam, and pop culture. I would say, gross. I don't want to listen to that, but it's really good, and that's how good it is. I like a band that sings about Gundams. As we all know, Gundam in anime is for losers.
You could go fucking yourself. With your rusty meat hook with barbed wire and razor blades all throughout.
All right, so that first one was Colony Drop off from Brace for Impact off of from Nameless Grave Records. I encourage you all to get it. It is my favorite thrash album that wasn't black in about 15 years. And what was the second one?
That was Photo Juice with Cunt of the Litter.
And that was fucking sexy. That was off their new album. Fetal Juice is actually a pretty interesting band. I actually got into them about 13 years ago because they're a British band, but I had some British friends. And the Rob Harris, one of the members of the band, was asking, "Hey, do you want free demos?" I was like, "Yeah, free demos are great." And I thought the titles are hilarious. But yes, Cunt of the Litter. They're a death grind band. And
yes,
the album is called Grotesque. And the album is called Grotesque, by the way. And again, it's from 2023. And you guys should buy it. And of course, as I've said this many times before, but if you like the music you hear, support the band, buy it. I have a bunch of CDs here, and I like I love getting them. By the way, if I could just brag a little bit on Swine Brother, Jim, you already know I have these, but can I? I don't usually go for like original editions on CD because they're expensive. I figured if I want unremastered, I'll just download them, right? Because none of that money's actually going to the to the band. But I got 4 original CDs here for $30 or less. I got the original copy of Bolt Throwers in Battle There's No Loss CD from '88. I got Cradle of Filth, The Principle of Evil Made Flesh. Fuck you, it's a good album. And Jim, you'll like this one. A 1989 copy of Bonded by Blood by Exodus. And a 1990 copy of Speak English or Die.
Oh god, now that's the good one.
That, oh man, it plays perfectly. It's from, you could tell the guy opened it up and and stuff, but yeah, it plays perfectly. It's an amazing sound. It has Ram It Up as a bonus track, but yeah, 1990 version of SOD. So it's kind of funny because records from 1990 to 89 would go for like $500, but I get CD. I got Bonded by Blood for $11.
That's
for
nice.
1989. That's not nice. That's how could I not? I also got a bunch of others and have supported bands. I got Colony Drop. I got Sang with Sukabog. Last year was such an amazing year for metal. Yes, to those who follow me on Facebook, yes, I am going to make a year-end list. Probably not till February because we're moving and stuff like that. But I will make a year-end list eventually. Because last year was. See, that's the cool thing is while you were dealing with life and stuff, it wasn't like I was bored. I had great metal. It seemed like every week some new album would come out. Would kick my ass more than the last one.
Apparently, it's now a fad at fucking continental breakfasts to get in this weird device where you pretty much have your ass hanging up in the air so everyone can see your panties through glass.
Wait, what?
This isn't even porn. This is like something legit that's happening at continental breakfasts now. Well, like here, have your fucking fan service panties shot looking through this glass window at my panties.
Why?
As I sit here and almost do a headstand, because that's what this device makes me do.
Why would you be in that? Why? What's the point?
I don't know. The point has to be sexual, okay? Because if it's not, if it's one of those, don't judge me kind of things, it's like, okay, you're going the extra mile to show off your panties to everyone.
The problem with the "don't judge me" thing, and Jim, I'm a little bit more left wing than you on it. I do believe that, because I know you were saying, oh, who cares about fat shaming? Just don't listen to them. I do agree that it would be nice to, because people do listen to things, and it's okay to be fat people. But the problem with the "don't judge me" thing is, I mean, eventually you get into a position where people have to judge you, and so what? They judge you. You know, I
Oh,
mean,
wow, they judge you. Does that mean you
just
need to associate with
okay.
those
Look,
people?
okay. Look. Earlier today, I made some disparaging comments about furries, which I will again right now. Freaks. What does it matter? Go dress as a freak. Yeah, I'm gonna think you're a weirdo, but what does it matter for to you? And if you get hit with a, I mean, if you get hit with the fucking furry hat on, maybe that's the world telling you shouldn't wear a furry hat. But whatever. But yeah, if you're if I mean, okay, I'm calling you freaks, but what does it matter? Be yourself, and people are gonna judge you. People judge me. People judge Jim. I judge Jim.
Everyone judges me, and I get death threats on the daily.
I'm judging you right now.
Hooray. Everyone should.
But but the point is, like, who there's some things that probably still shouldn't happen. Like, so why would I mean? Is I I have questions. I have
Okay, what's the
questions.
question?
So, continental breakfast. Why are they doing that? Like,
I don't know why. I just know that it's like, okay, this is like, what you would do at, like, at one of those fucking maid cafes that they have in Japan that, fetishizes this
oh,
kind
okay,
of
one of
thing. But
oh,
that's not
okay,
where, but that is not where they're at.
oh,
They are at, like this really upscale place doing this, and you could tell it's the patrons doing this, not the staff. The patrons are doing this. And I'm like, okay, and this isn't porn. What? Okay, what?
well, you think the staff would step in and say, like,
No, the staff had to put the devices there because these things are huge. Fucking, part of it's metal, part of it's like fucking rubbery, and then you got the comfort seating for your knees and elbows.
and the kids coming, Mom, what's she doing? She's just being a slut.
No, mommy's just, being mommy. That's all. You don't need to worry about it.
This is what she does after 5 whiskeys.
5,
Only,
yes.
only with me.
Have
Yes,
penance
5.
and rejoice as some chick strokes a cock. Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Yes. So thank you for. People are weird.
Yeah, and I guarantee these are like bitches saying, "Don't judge me." It's like, girl, this is like, there's nothing about this that isn't sexual. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not
I could
good.
see walking around topless at a nude beach, fine, Dan. That doesn't have to be sexual. You just walk around nude, but this is putting yourself in a position that is 100% sexual.
And I mean, and there's a time and place for it. For example, you wouldn't go around Disneyland exposing yourself. I mean, I did, but they threw me out. Prudes.
So yeah, okay. Maybe this is just one rogue continental breakfast that happened, but it's like, why?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It might be a special hotel. I don't know. But I've been to continental breakfast, well, I've never really been to upscale places. So continental breakfast is more like free donuts. But yeah, I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for weirding me out, Jim.
Yes, it is a weird thing I have seen online within the past 30 seconds, and I'm just like, why?
Yes, we don't know why either.
Nobody
So,
has ever recognized the why.
Nobody knows the why of everything.
If you need to know the why of it, then you're not in the current year, whatever it is. I don't know.
It's 2024. It's the 9th year of Swine Brothers. God, that depresses me.
9 years.
9 years. Remember in 2015, we were all like Metalgate and shit, and I thought Metalgate was idiotic, and I still do.
Yeah, it happens.
I laughed so hard at some of that.
As one should.
Like, I mean, they had good points, but then they're like, "Hey, let's bully Miracure because she's not black metal." I'm like, what is that actually trying? Like, she's not gonna get out of the scene just because you don't want her. Just don't buy her music.
Yeah, that's how you do it, you know. All you're
She's
doing
actually-
is giving her fucking free promotion because metalheads always listen to things getting bashed. I mean, you hear this band rocks like 10 million times and like no one checks it out. But the moment you say this band sucks, it's like, I gotta see how bad it sucks.
Well, but then you also have her defenders. Oh my God, you're being mean. We have to defend her. She actually got better when she moved away from black metal and moved into more like folk metal.
I
They had a
haven't
kid.
checked that out yet, but I might have to.
I've only checked it out just because it was there. And okay, I'll listen to it. But it was funny. Like, I mean, I get it. People aren't happy that pop girls are playing black metal and all, but again, you're not going to stop them just by like calling her anorexic.
Yeah,
In
why
fact-
the hell even bother, you know, because, you know, it's like, you know, okay, yeah, Michael Jackson sucked, but, like, did that stop people from making him sell more albums? No.
The best thing I can say is if you don't want people, or you know, if you're fed up with people in black, you know, the mainstream, the hipsters, make more extreme black metal, make it even more anti-Christian, make it even more black. You know what I mean? Just make music that makes it clear that, hey, I'm not one of these people, and you won't be lumped in with them. I mean, no one's lumping Revenge in with Miracure
Yep.
because Revenge is awesome, and you know, their lyrics are all about like militant Satanism, which is I support, I support that, but so just make your own music. I mean, every every sound, every genre in metal will be bastardized because as genres get older, they get more widespread, right? Look at death metal. Look at death metal. Death metal became commercial. You had the melodic death metal. I mean, which I like some melodic death metal, but I'm just look at black metal. Black metal is not some new genre. Depending on your definition of black metal could be 30 to 40 years old. At least 30, because A Blaze in Northern Sky came out in 92, so what, 31, 32? And if you include First Wave, black metal is almost 50 years old. Black metal is 45 years old. It's not some obscure thing that nobody talks about. It's in the main, not in the mainstream, but it's in the music system. So of course you're going to get people who don't, are KVLT or whatever. That are going to be.
God, that's dumb.
But what you need to do is just make your own music. And if it's good enough, and if it's not, if it's evil enough, people will stay. The falses will stay away.
And that's what you want, is the falsies to stay away.
Unfortunately,
let them have their useless crap. Who cares about them?
Unfortunately, now we're at the age where people are correcting me. Not to brag, but I do actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to metal. But people are telling me how the black metal scene was based on the movie Lords of Chaos. Not even the book, the movie.
I find that hilarious because, like, almost all the bands that were involved in the scene at that time refused to let their music be licensed to the movie. And keep in mind, they're turning down really good money because they said, no, this is not how things happen.
Burzum did, Dark Throne did, Emperor did. I mean, that's because and because of that, I don't even like. Dark Throne were a huge part of the black metal scene in Norway. They didn't do any of the criminal stuff, but they were a huge. They were like they were the first band to do like a full black metal album. You know, they predated Mayhem's The Mysterious album. They predated Burzum. Is Fenris even in the movie? I don't know. Because if he is, he plays such a big part that, you know, but yeah, so yeah, Dark Throne's not in the movie, Emperor's not in the movie. Mayhem, I think Mayhem felt they had to collaborate because the hero was such an important guy in the movie. I think they felt like we have to lend some of our music out. And I think Attila's son played him in the movie, which I thought was cool. I thought Attila's son playing him in the thing was cool, but Mayhem even regrets licensing the music. So yeah, but now they're no. Euro hated every type of music other than black metal, which he I mean he made pronouncements against death metal, but he said that, you know, basically, if it was good, he'd listen to it, even if they wore jogging suits, which is my favorite. I love the jogging suit term, by the way. But, you know, Euro made some extreme statements, but he also made, you know, he was also a music fan at heart.
Yeah.
I mean, the extreme thing was how to get noticed. I mean, shit. I mean, you know, and, okay, yeah, they burned down churches and killed people, but a lot of the extreme stuff was, you know, the stuff that was written was like, well, hey, wait, hey, guys, I have an idea. What if we say napalm death sucks? Oh, dude, that's gonna be funny. You know, a lot of it was
some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, people talk about it. You know, and then hey, let's go burn down a church or whatever. But someone actually thinks that Varg made chocolate milk while he killed Euronymous. Now, I get what that scene's supposed to. It's supposed to show that Varg's gone so completely out of reality that he thinks that murdering someone is, you know, nothing. Like, you know, you make chocolate milk, but that killed any drama the murder scene had. That killed it for me. I couldn't. I really.
Mm-hmm.
But people actually do think so. Yeah, now we're at that stage, which is annoying. But what are you gonna do? I mean, there's nothing you can do except laugh.
People still get false things about all these different fucking points in history. It's like, dude, where the fuck are you getting these things? And it's like, you know, this is because someone else made this really popular video that they liked, and okay, well, the Earth is not flat, by the way.
or some movie. Well, you know, the movie was like a comedy, right? You know, it was like blatantly, like the point. It was an alternate history, right? No, it was telling it like it was. No.
It's like this thing where we're like, yay, why can't we go back to the 60s and like live like this huge flower child life? Like, dude, do you even know what the 60s were? I mean, because it's like this huge acceptance, tolerance thing. It's like, yeah, like, okay. Yeah, people that were too poor to dodge the draft getting spat upon because they went through the draft instead of going to prison. And they didn't even want to be in that war. They barely survived, got home, they get spat upon by these hippies that are all about peace and tolerance. Let's also go into the other peace and tolerance about the hippies and let you know that the civil rights movement wasn't a universal thing at the time. It caught a lot of shit. There were people that supported turning the hoses on them and fucking throwing them in jail just because, you know, black people wanted to be treated like human beings. Wow, what a concept. But back at the time... but
they think but part of it is also
within the hippie movement itself, there was a lot of fucking racism.
Yeah, but Jim, part of it is also the struggle. They want to be, man, I wish it could be back with Martin Luther King, and I'm going, dude, if you encountered half of what he experienced, you would have shat your pants.
Yeah, like there's some horrific shit that was going on.
There was a one of the integration in the South, a white mob basically beat up the passengers of the bus, and the cops gave them like 15 minutes, and then okay, we'll break it up. I think a couple of people died. There was a black school that was firebombed, but no, I want to be there during the struggle, man. You wouldn't last. You wouldn't survive in the struggle. The other thing about the 60s is, yeah, the hippies, they weren't all. I mean, some of them were very almost fascistic in outlook. Some of the hippie communes. Mm-hmm. I mean, Charles Manson came out of that. But also, look what the hippies became. The hippies became yuppies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I spent my early 20s and my teenage and early 20s raging against the system. Well, I guess I better go to college now. It was a fad. The hippies.
No,
It was
they
a
were
fad.
already in college. It's just now maybe I should make some money. And wow,
Somewhere some went to. I knew people who, yeah, like 71 and decided, let's go to college, go back to college. I think they dropped out or whatever, but and the holdover hippies became basically drug addicts.
mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, the 60s. I mean, there are things I liked about the 60s, namely the cars. Muscle
Yeah.
cars, but
It's not
but
saying there
yeah,
was nothing good about it, but it's like, you're whitewashing so much shit by saying, let's go back to this time. So,
well,
yeah, the 90s were a fucking awesome time to be a teenager in your 20s. It was like the 60s again with the drug use. That was fucking wild. And the music was
well,
decent, but there was also a shit ton of sarcastic bands. We had race riots. We had fucking all this other turmoil and strife. There's certain things I wish not to relive, but if we were to go back to the 90s wholesale, guess what? All that shit would happen again.
now, if I had a time machine, would I go back to the 60s? Sure. Just, see what was up. And of course, I go back to the 90s. You're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm your friend from the future, Jim.
If you caught me at the right point in the 90s after I started doing acid, I'd just roll with it.
But but
But like I said, if you met me back when I was, selling drugs out of my dad's attic, I'd be like, I want you to be able to see. I'll feed you so much acid, you will gain the ability to actually have working eyes. Oh my god, I can see! Whack, you fall out the window. It's like, oh my god, it worked, he can see.
and now he's
Not
ripping
that,
someone,
he thought he could see because he was tripping his balls so hard.
and now he's ripping someone's skin off.
Yeah.
But so back when I was a kid, my dream was the 80s. I wanted to live back in the 80s because the heyday of punk and metal and blah 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 blah. First off, there were suck ass bands, of course, glam metal, and also I don't know how much of you don't know. I mean, a lot of my favorite albums were limited release demo tapes or whatever, or limited production records, and also remember I'm blind. I can't read magazines. I can't read. I would have to have someone go to the store with me for everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we
there.
didn't have
So
real screen readers at the time. I remember in the
they didn't.
90s, the one deaf chick had the speech to text thing, and that was really basic.
They didn't have the internet, of course, so I could. It's not like I could just look it up. If I would turn on my radio, maybe once they played Metallica in '87 or '88, but it would be all glam metal. Going to the store, I'd have to have someone else take me, and and of course, a lot of people found metal through magazines and mailing lists and stuff, which of course I couldn't, I couldn't read. So finally, and of course, again, these are 100, 200, 1,000 copies, and they're printed in Sweden. The records.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you even know you're going to find one? So now, I mean, nowadays, I kind of realize, okay, maybe this is the right time. As shitty as it is, maybe it's the right time for me being. I can now utilize the tools,
I
and
mean, there's things I miss about the bygone era, but there's so much I like about what's going on currently because the technology's there. I can
there's
easily
things I
find
miss.
shit that I couldn't before. I could get more research in because there's so many different places I could go to. I can nerd out on fucking so many different forums. I can actually find people to talk about anything I'm actually interested in. Whereas
Yep,
back in the day, where do you find someone that likes heavy metal, likes Dungeons and
the record
Dragons,
store.
likes... You'd find like maybe 3 people if you hung out the record store for every weekend for 6 months.
Nowadays, I mean, you could even be like, yeah, this person's okay, but they only talk about Cannibal Corpse. Nowadays you can be like, any Satan's Host fans here? Hell yeah! Like now. I mean, now that I'm on Facebook and Discord and stuff, I mean that's how I find all my bands and so yeah, I realize, and of course there's older people. The young kids, they don't they don't listen to music the way we did because we had to blah blah blah. And I tried being like that at first, like, oh man, I wish I was back then, but I don't know. I think that was part of growing up, was getting rid of the whole, hey look, I'm not an 80s punk rocker. I was born in 1994, people.
Yeah, and why
But
would I want to go back whenever I mean, fucking shit. If I were to go back to, like, even 10 years ago, I'd still be in heartache not seeing my kids. I now get to see them, you know. So it's like
yeah, and
fucking
I would
shit,
be.
And there's other points in my life where, like, if I was the same person I was, back in the mid 90s, I'd be dead because you can't survive drinking a beer bong filled to the brim with a half gallon of vodka to
There are
start your
some.
party every day. You're destroying your fucking body doing that. There's no reason why you would need to get that drunk that quickly. Be a lightweight. It's cheaper.
Now, are there some places that I wouldn't mind revisiting from my past, knowing what I know now? Yeah. I'm not saying I would change anything or I could change, but I wouldn't mind like re-observing, like, oh yeah, a couple, like I, the only time I saw Slayer, I was a very, very new Slayer fan. So I didn't really know any songs that they played. Like I just knew I really liked it. And I can't my memories of the concert are vague enough that like I can't listen to a song. Oh yeah, they played this at the show, but I know what songs they played at the show. So yeah, I would like to go revisit my only Slayer performance. Cannibal Corpse, I knew the song, but yeah, Slayer, I would actually like to go revisit my. Plus, I'd like to see Slayer again.
Yeah, I'd
but
love to see Slayer again. That was
but yeah,
awesome.
I kind of regret that I
Both
was
times I
like
seen them, it was awesome.
my friend, my sister's boyfriend, had just put their discography on my iPod. I know he likes Slayer, of course, but I didn't really have anything. So yeah, I was still kind of getting. I mean, I knew I knew I really liked them. I just didn't, I didn't really have any music yet at the time. So yeah, the show, it was an amazing show, man. It was. I got to see with Lombardo and Hanneman, 2009. I got to see Cannibal Corpse and Behemoth on the same day, man. But
Yeah.
so I'd like to see that. I'd like to go back, to that time. But most other things, I like the one guy in American Hardcore who said, you always say, "I wish I knew now what I knew back then." You don't really, because things wouldn't be as fun. You know, part of your past is, part of the fun adventures as a teenager is not knowing what, things. Oh yeah, these actions have consequences. Starting a party by shotgunning or beer bonging it. My
Half
God,
gallon of vodka
that
in
I'm not
6
gonna lie.
seconds or less. That
I'm
should have killed me so many times. Like, I did it at least a dozen times.
I'm not gonna lie. That makes me nauseous just thinking about it.
I cannot drink Vladimir vodka to this day. I mean, granted, it's cheap vodka. Why would I want to?
Does it still exist?
I don't even know if it still exists. I just
But
know that I know about 5 years ago I came around it and I was like, no. I could tell by the smell. No, I wanted no part of that.
uh, I would never force you to actually. Yeah, what I kind of want to see blow chunks.
Oh God, it's just bad.
And then what we'll do is over the flushing on the show, we'll have you puking as like the first sound of the show. Tell me that wouldn't be funny.
Yeah. And another thing is about the whole cancel culture thing, because that's one of the reasons why people say, I want to go back to this time because there wasn't a cancel culture. Yes, there was. Do you know how
Yeah, there
many
was.
like Guar went to prison for
Went
just
to
doing
court.
their stage act?
Well, yeah. I mean, and it was bigger than Oh, I don't like you on Twitter or whatever. I mean, people went to jail accused of committing horrible crimes because they listened to Metallica
Mm-hmm.
in West Memphis, Arkansas. And now the stories like the PMRC and the Satanic Panic and Guar's thing, now they're cool. Now it's fun to retell them. But at the time, you didn't know. I mean, they didn't know if that was going to ruin their career. Like when the dead Kennedys were prosecuted in '86 for the poster in the album, they didn't know if they were going to go to jail for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays it looks silly, but back in the day it didn't look silly.
No, I
That's
mean, and there was just like so much shit and like
yeah.
Oh
But it,
God.
but it was
I
actual
remember whenever the
institutions.
pro-life movement used to firebomb abortion clinics. It's like,
Yep.
okay, I can understand being against abortion, but isn't that like one wrong to correct another wrong?
Oh, but also you're killing people so
Yeah.
that you can't be pro-life. But that's the thing though. It wasn't I mean nowadays it's I think it's more annoying nowadays the whole cancel culture because now it's just the internet mob. But back in the day, these were institutions. These were police departments. These were people with the power to actually do very bad things to you
And
that
completely
were
just.
after you.
I was the satanic baby killer of Jeanette. Now, granted, if I was a little bit less of a teenager, early 20s guy with no knowledge about life, I would have started looking for work outside my hometown, even though I would have to walk extra miles, which I was walking anyway to go to the mall. I didn't put two and two together like that. But in my local town, I was blackballed from ever getting a job from fucking in my local town because I was a satanic baby killer. That was the rumor. You know, I had my life ruined because I played D&D, liked video games, and listened to heavy metal.
God, I wish you were that cool.
Yeah, I know.
But well, and as bad as that is, and I'm not trying to downplay it, you got off lucky compared to some others, like the McMartin preschool people,
Yeah,
or the West
those weren't
Memphis
even like
3.
fucking metalheads or anything. That was just like a fucking mother's psychotic, fucking schizophrenic rantings actually made manifest in a court case which destroyed lives.
People got sent to prison for decades. Same with the West Memphis 3. If you ever seen the Paradise
I mean, my
Lost
favorite thing about
documentaries,
that was like, okay, so you're barely struggling staying afloat as a daycare center. How the fuck are you getting money to fly people from one coast to the other, perform your ritual, then fly them back? How the hell do you have that much money?
of course, then then the Judas Priest obscenity trial, which again nowadays it seems hilarious. I mean, we joke about it, but back then, I mean, and I think the band kind of took it as, come on, there's no way this could be. But back then, you didn't know. I mean, what if a crooked judge found you guilty? You know,
Or a
so
fundamentalist judge that believed in one cause or the other. It doesn't matter if it was, the conservative fucking Christian or if
I
it was like
love.
the hyper progressive peace type. Because if once you get that far down the pipe, it's like you're not conforming to my thing, bam, guilty.
In the book, Halford talks. He actually spent a day with an audiologist, because for those of you who don't know, and I don't know why people wouldn't know, but there was a trial in the early '90s with Judas Priest where two kids listened to Judas Priest, and then later on they attempted to kill themselves. One died instantly, one lived for a couple years, and they tried to blame it on backward messages in "Better by You, Better Than Me" off of Stained Glass, which isn't even a Priest song; it's a Spooky Tooth cover. But and they said that there's backward messages saying "Do it, kill it," But Rob Halford spent a day with an audiologist and found some other. If you play a certain song, I forget the song on Stained Glass, but if you play it backwards, it sounds like he's singing, I asked her for a peppermint. I asked her to get one. And there's one other, look, Mom, my chair is broken.
It was
I,
a joke back, in the day whenever my buddy was doing college radio, that like I had a wave file of playing Slayer backwards, and
Join
like then
us.
I point it back, and I overdubbed, go to church, be a good Christian. That's what playing Slayer backwards does. It's a pure pro-Christian message because everything was Satan forwards.
There was a band called Adrenaline OD who did a backward message, and if you play it backward, God is really, really nice. Go to church and give money to the poor. but again, these were not just, I mean, yeah, they started out with cranks, and but they started out with cranks and conspiracy weirdos, but they blossomed into actual court cases. By the way, I don't know if you've read, but the guy who brought us the Judas Priest trials later said that there were subliminal messages hidden in Ritz crackers. I wish there were.
Subliminal messages hidden in crackers. Ritz
Ritz
crackers.
crackers. Yep. Yep.
That's a new level here.
Yeah, but people took these. And what people do, because we watched the law enforcement satanic panic thing, and again, I laughed at it. Jim laughed at it. We all laughed at it.
But this was actual tax dollars spent because the government thought there were satanic cults and everything.
There were news outlets with reputable news anchors I mean, these people were on news outlets. These people were, these satanic panic people. They were being stopped by, they were being paid by the cops to, wow, you have to fill us in on this, strange activity. People took it very seriously.
And most of the time, filling us in on that activity was them trying to make a plea bargain so they get out of serious prison time.
Yep.
And they just start making up shit, and that's how innocent people went to prison.
Or I mean, I'm going to say the West Memphis 3 again, because I think that was the dirtiest one, was these 3 kids, these couple 8-year-olds, I think they were, or even younger, were murdered. And these 3 kids were blamed because one of them was one of them drank someone's blood and was into witchcraft and listened to Metallica. And the other was borderline retarded. And basically he was forced to confess. Like, they put pressure on him and, he was like forced to confess. And basically one of them got life. The other 2, or one of them got death. The other 2 got life. Thankfully they were, released like 17 years later, but still, like, wow, they just because they listened to heavy metal music and enjoyed some occultic rites, you're gonna throw their lives away.
I fucking forget the dude's name, but this one dude, like, he actually killed someone. He went to prison for it, but then he started confessing to all these other murders across the land.
Henry Lee Lucas.
Yeah, I think that was it. And it was and the timelines don't match up. There was no way you could have killed most of these people. And, like, but, like, the feds were all into it. And they even, like, bullied this. The one guy said, hey, the one cop who said, hey, the timelines don't match up. We shouldn't believe what he's saying. He got bullied out of it because the feds were more interested in closing cases than they weren't actually solving the crimes. This guy confessed to it. Case closed. There we go. We look good. It doesn't matter. We find the real killer because this guy confessed to it.
There were 2, Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole. And I think it was Toole, the one who liked to confess to different. Yeah, you think I killed 500,000 people or whatever. It was a ridiculous number that could never have added up. But yeah, they just closed cases because, okay, we cool. He confessed. There was one Russian where Andrei Chikatilo, the Russian serial killer, where one guy was arrested for one of Chikatilo's murders. He was arrested and executed. He was, through trial and everything, even though he swore up and down that he didn't do it, they found him guilty and executed him. When they found Chikatilo was the one who did it, they sent an apology letter to his family. We're sorry we're sorry we killed your loved one.
We're so sorry. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, what does that fucking do? They're dead.
I mean, cancel culture's always been there, but it's also always been pretty easy to just ignore. I mean,
as long as they don't get the cops involved for shit you never did, which they try to do. And and you see, back in the day, the whole entire thing was like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and they still ruin people's lives over it. Then whenever they do get the cops involved, and then after years of trial and shit, you find out, oh, it never happened, but this person's life is already ruined. But yet, most of the time, it's just like an internet hate mob that fucking says we want you dead and all this shit, and then it's over.
I mean, I wish you get dropped from your label or your band breaks up or something. When just form another band. Mm-hmm. You'll always have people, or do it solo. You'll always have people willing to play with. I mean, people play with Nazis and murderers. Mm-hmm. So you'll always find people. So yeah, I always, but at the same time, I still react violently to witch hunts and internet witch hunts. Internet detectives are also the horrible. Remember the metalhead guy who was blamed for some chick dying when she actually probably drowned herself? Yeah. Is that hotel where the elevator footage shows.
And like, once in a while, yeah, they do good work, but that's once in a while. Most of the time, it's just people spouting theories and, oh my God, all this circumstantial stuff seems to add up, and they send it to the cops, it destroys someone's life, and then it turns out someone else did it.
I think that true crime. I mean, and I love true crime. I read books about serial killers. I watch shows, but yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people get a little too into that whole thing. What I love is that people love true crime and then call Cannibal Corpse obscene. I'm like, so wait. So Cannibal Corpse can't talk about these. I mean, granted, horrific things, but fictional things. But you're watching a video where they just talked about some girl skinning her husband alive, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
But
fiction's
Cannibal
bad,
Corpse.
but it's okay to actually murder people. What the fuck?
But Cannibal Corpse. Well, and of course, there's also macabre bad because they sing about real killers. I'm like, no, they're like, I mean, you've never heard of a murder ballad? Like, ballads about real serial killers and real killers have been around for thousands of years. There's a fine tradition of writing a ballad or a song about a famous murderer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very fine tradition. Macabre just, make it funny, like, turning Jeffrey Dahmer into,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Or he'll be coming to Chicago when he comes. Yeah, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, it's funny, but anyway. So that's all I have for today.
No, we have a little bit. Okay, we could do that, I guess. Yeah, we'll do that then. Okay.
We'll get better, people. Anyway, this has been.
For some reason, this thing started at a weird spot.
We're professional. We're
It's
professional.
professional, yes.
This has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 209. Hey, it's been a while, people. You can contact us at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Facebook and Twitter are both Swine Bros 666. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share.
Share the fuck out of it. We suck at self-promotion.
Yes, for the taco slut and the gym, I have been Elliott. Well, I swear we'll be back in less than 5 months.
Yes.
Or maybe not. Bye.
That's when we get to the panty list of the time.
Furries are freaks.